Hello everyone, welcome to Destiny by Dice, our 14th episode, where I play D&D with a couple of my friends who have nothing better to do on a Tuesday evening, except for one of us who apparently had something better to do for a short while.
It's running late.
Yeah, he'll be with us as soon as he's able to. So, are you all ready to head into combat with the dragon? Or?
See if we meet a sea monster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. At sea, yeah.
So last we left off, you got to catch up for 4 hours. That was basically
didn't
last
take us 4 hours, but
took you 4 hours.
yeah.
The rest of these guys were fine. That was good. We went to a tavern. Do anyone remember what that was called?
Probably
Pro.
still have some holes to fill, gaps to it.
There will probably always be some gaps.
Yeah.
Gaps in your XP.
Don't mention it,
Is this
or I might have to kill you for some XP. Yeah, see the DM approves.
I will give you 6,000 XP for killing Evelyn.
Don't try.
No, I wouldn't. Or would I?
Minus.
Well, you might never know. Anyway, you were traveling to
Kadun.
Kadun with a K? No?
No, with a
C?
C
Oh.
and 2 O's.
Is it a K on the map, or is it?
I'm just gonna fix my microphone. Probably sounds terrifyingly awesome. Yeah, so we traveled to Kadun. You guys went through the fish market. You purchased a map, which you have now received. And you went to the Leaden Crow, where you all had some sheep
Yes.
and went to sleep.
Worst sheep stew ever.
Best sheep.
It's actually
First,
pretty good, yeah.
yeah, first and best.
But your clouded judgment did not approve.
My best? Fine.
Wow, we're staying the night. I
Wait.
guess it's a long rest.
Yeah, if nothing happens through the night. Wait, I don't think we purchased any rooms yet today. Or
No, you bought some food.
Foods and drinks.
You were eating as we left off because we were going on overtime almost. I think we actually finished on time last time. We have been going on overtime for a while.
Yeah.
So we're trying to mitigate that a little bit. But yeah, so you need any rooms?
go up to the barkeep. Oh. Do you have some rooms for us?
Yes, we have available rooms. How many do you need? How many are you?
We're 6. So rooms for 6.
So 1 room, 2 rooms. We have 6-man rooms if you want.
Yeah, I guess that's fine.
Yeah. That would be 2 silver pieces.
I give them 5.
Thank you, miss.
Thanks.
Let me know if you need anything.
Will do.
It's a nice tail.
Thanks, and I wave it. I just, got back to the table and they had a room for us.
Great.
I think it's upstairs.
Where's the key to my room?
Pay for it yourself.
They had one for 6 people, so that's why I got. I think they had more. I know we've been we're exhausted because we pushed on for how is our day schedule?
You're closing in on sundown at this point,
That's not too
which is
bad.
why you pushed through the day.
Yeah.
So
In order to not get jet lagged.
too badly.
That is probably why he's not here yet. He's exhausted.
Okay, he's already on the sleep. On the sleep. The table.
Yeah.
Guess we'll drag him up with us.
Yeah.
You had one too many beer.
I know
One
someone
beer.
else who's been doing this.
I think we should just go to sleep.
Yeah.
I think we all need it at this point.
Yeah.
So you'll head upstairs to the large room with six beds. It's actually futons on the ground.
I'm completely happy with this.
And they're sort of arranged by 3 on each side of the room.
Well, I'll go over to the barkeep or quartermaster and get a room
mister?
for myself.
What can I do for you?
I wanted to stay overnight, so I'm looking for a room.
Room for 1.
Exactly.
That would be 3 silver.
Here. Give him 3 silver.
Thank you, sir. Room's right upstairs to the left.
Upstairs to the left. Thank you.
So you head up to a single bed room with an actual bed.
Actual bed.
Long
Nice.
distance?
You have futons.
Hmm.
So just mattresses on the ground, basically.
His room was more expensive than our rooms.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
No, you paid 5 silver. I paid only 3.
Technically, yeah.
Oh. Sure.
And so we all get a good night's rest.
Yes.
Except for me, because, yeah, well, technically I do.
No, if
And
you're
that-
the god, you're always has to stay.
God never sleeps.
Yeah.
Or always sleeps.
No
Depending on
one,
the god.
what kind of god? Yeah. So if no one attacks us during our sleep, I don't
We're
think
fine.
we put up any guards. So
Nights in taverns are usually fine unless you're being haunted or hunted.
we know. We never
Hunted
know.
or hunted, yeah.
Unless the barkeep is secretly a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
You see, the barkeep is actually an elven woman. And she visited
With
you during the night.
suspiciously long arms
Yeah.
on her shirt. Oh, I still have to do that prank on you guys. Suddenly have like a subtle tattoo. Which
You're not an elven woman.
So
I
you
am.
can all reset your health bars, fix your exhaustion,
Nice.
and attune to any items if you want to, if you haven't already, during travels.
Any useful spells?
First thing, when I wake up, I'm casting Sending.
I am very surprised.
So thanks to the amazing D&D Beyond app, we just need to press the long rest button and
Ooh, D&D Beyond just came with an update for bags, so you can actually put things into bags, which means you can put items into a bag of holding inside of D&D Beyond. So it makes it a lot easier to keep track of what's actually in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
Then I also can be very strict with saying that if it's not in the bag in D&D Beyond, it's not in the bag and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you fall into an acid pit, you're screwed unless you have it in the bag, because the bag survives.
Mm.
Stuff like that.
Okay.
yeah. Also, we're not sponsored, so
No.
D&D Beyond, if you're listening to this,
Please send money.
Please send money
get in touch.
so we can hire a better cast.
So we can get a professional DM.
yes.
Just replace everyone with critical role.
Alright, so next morning,
Carl wakes up. She's ready to send.
Hopefully better than last time.
what's the character limit?
25
25.
Words.
words, not characters. So there's no character limit. So if you put everything into one word,
Like super long.
If you write German, then it's fine.
Okay. probably. Keep it short. Are you okay? Is the gem safe? Closing in on the salt. Tis it. I don't say this, but that's who I'm coming for.
It's oddly quiet for a little while. You hear Tara. I'm safe. Currently hiding. Can't say where. How you doing this? Did you find gem? Did you get hammer? Hammer? Careful what you say. Then it gets quiet again. Everyone is writing. Almost. The end of the table never writes.
I have no memory. I have to write the diary every time.
I never understand my writing, so.
I just rewatched the episode. That's easier for me.
That takes 4 hours.
It is embarrassing.
Yes.
Share anything?
Yes, I will immediately add to whoever's awake and
So everyone
present.
except for him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
You're left out again.
the first one was awake. I'm already
So you're not in
downstairs.
the room.
Yeah, I'm downstairs.
He does not have the gem. Sin does not have the gem.
He's okay?
Yeah, he's safe. He's in hiding though.
Okay. Do we know where?
So no, he couldn't tell. He said I had to be careful what I said. Probably even to brainwaves thingies.
He didn't say anything that you knew of the gem or where it was or anything.
No, I asked him if the gem was safe, and when he replied, he just asked me if I had the gem.
So that might mean they have it.
Well, there's a possibility
At
they
least
have
we
it.
don't know where it is.
But he asked me if I found the gem and if I found the hammer.
The
In
hammer.
the same sentence.
Yeah, I can almost. So
Did we ever check out the red stone we found in the sarcophagus thingy?
no.
Maybe we should.
But I think,
Because
wasn't it Rick said something about other items from the other king? And he was talking about some rubies, but I think what we found in the crypt was a garnet.
yeah, but it was red. And rubies are red.
Yeah,
It
but
maybe it wasn't a garden, or maybe it wasn't a ruby.
the gems from the past?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you checked it out and it wasn't magic. We can probably.
I didn't check it.
I think Kaylin has it.
You think he's sold it without telling us?
Does he
Wouldn't
still
surprise
have
me.
it?
I don't know. He might keep it just as a prize, just for pride.
Should go find him.
But do you?
Where's
That
the
sending?
check?
Do you think you can do that to Catherine?
We tried it.
Oh, and it didn't work.
You could try again though.
Yeah, I guess it didn't feel like when I was sending to the monster girl.
But the monster might not have been existing yet. So I don't know. Try sending.
What do we know?
But we-
I'll try poking. I'll try
Yeah,
poking.
because you know he's dead.
I'm just wasting spells again.
We can, if we don't have a hurry with it, we can probably do it tonight. Or before
Yeah.
we go to bed.
Yeah, we can
Smart.
just do it.
Just in case.
Let's go find Gil. Let's head downstairs.
We'll exit the room with a quiet Regressa behind you.
Still groggy.
Awfully quiet today.
So exhausted from the travel. So you head down into the tavern where you see Kaelin is already sitting. probably drinking.
Or not see him because he's put on his ring of invisibility.
It's gonna be like this.
Yes.
You just suddenly see a glass appear in front of some invisible person on the table.
Someone please just kill him, okay?
I want to see if the barkeep or whatever, innkeeper, has some caffeinated for Fredrikstad. Do they have caffeinated drinks in this stuff? Tea? Maybe? I'll try.
People drink all kinds of weird shit. Maybe someone has some effects.
Cocaine?
Yeah.
I don't think you drink cocaine.
I don't know how things work.
As you enter the common area of the tavern, you do see a older woman standing behind the counter, sort of just cleaning glasses, looking around, seeing you guys, waving, just keep doing her work.
Go up. Hey, you look like
Hello.
some bag of tricks in your past. I don't know. Well, I need something like to get the morning started, cause
I just point to Ferguson. He's probably bumbling down the stairs or something.
Understand. Let's see, what do we have here? I have some tilapia water. That really helps.
Oh.
Just quickens up people when they're
Okay.
tired.
Two.
You should be careful.
I get one then. Only one.
Good. Smart. That is 2 copper pieces, please.
Let's sacrifice you.
2 copper
There you go.
pieces going away. No. Push it into Fredrikstad's hand and leave.
Do you guys have some breakfast?
Yes, of course. We have some sheep stew. It's the remnants from the dinner yesterday,
It's fine.
but it's very good for breakfast.
Any eggs?
No, sadly.
No breakfast, nothing?
Eggs are usually from birds and they're poisonous, so we don't carry them here.
Okay.
You'd have to go to one of those fancy restaurants uptown. They have them, but they're pretty expensive.
Maybe some bread?
We do have that, yes.
That would be nice.
Just the bread from me.
Just the bread. Unless you want some sheep soup.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Thank you. I'll tell the cook. He comes in later.
You do that.
While they are occupying the barmaid, I want to sneak behind the counter and remove a bottle of booze from the shelf.
Give me a stealth check and a sleight of hand check.
So I assume stealth with advantage. Invisible. Ooh, luckily, that was a natural one in there, but no skills.
I was hoping for snake eyes.
Yes.
24 for the stealth. So sleight of hand. Stealth with advantage as well.
Yeah.
Not okay. 13.
The fact that the sleight of hand is invisible means that it's not even really necessary, but
Yeah,
As
as
long as
soon
you
as I
don't
touch
fail.
the
Yeah.
thing, it becomes
so yeah,
invisible.
you
The
easily
bottle.
sneak behind, get a bottle, and then walk back out again. Not even really trying, you just meh.
Crit fail could be you drop it on the ground and everyone hears it.
I was basically just looking for the fail.
Yeah, I was one
Yeah.
one roll away.
If I hadn't said yes to your advantage,
I mean, also on the sleight of hand, that was natural too.
Ah!
We got how much? 14? 12?
I got a 13, so plus 11.
I guess I just smells the drink. And then downs it.
I see more away.
But yeah, before he
Doesn't
downs
seem
it,
kicked in yet.
I want to add a little of my booze that I took from the chef into his cup.
Give me a
Just
sleight of hand on that one.
Won't they see the liquid magically appear pouring into the glass?
I don't
Well,
know
we've
how that
already
works.
said that he is out of it, so
21.
Okay.
Hope he's not listening in on this and how it goes.
Okay, he has disadvantage, so a natural 1. So yeah, he doesn't notice, and he just downs the alcohol mixed with the tilapia leaf water. Seems to grimace a little bit, but still seems very tired.
It's good for your fear. You'll feel better soon.
I want to find Caleb and ask him to,
Sister,
yeah, check it out.
Yeah, I'll go over to the stairs or well, like the hallway where the rooms are, and then I take off my ring. And, walk
Nice.
to the dining area.
Gem. Gem. Do you still have the gem in the?
Good morning.
Or it's not in the
You
grip?
remember Jim? The red Jim?
Well, first of all, good morning.
Morning.
You're up late. What did you do this night, huh? Did you party again like the last time?
I had a comfortable bed actually, and since I was exhausted last night,
But you didn't
Yes,
lose your
absolutely.
sword getting drunk this time.
I did not. I'm awake now and fresh, so
Good. We're trying to make Fear also awake and fresh, but it's not so easy.
Well, we're only going to sail, hopefully, today,
Yeah.
so I don't think you have to do much. Hopefully, at least.
Hopefully. Don't give him ideas.
Oh, how about this gem though? The
gem. What gem?
And the red one? About the size of a coin? I don't know.
what kind of gem was it?
So a garnet?
Garnet. The garnet. No, the first
The one you won after the hunting.
The
With the
one-
rights to keep.
Oh, right. Well,
We found it in the crypt.
you
with
might.
the-
Yeah. Maybe you get to keep it. Just.
I had to give it to some of you. You didn't trust me with it.
No, I think you kept it.
Kept it?
I think it changed hands and we decided that the winner of the hunting competition got to keep it.
I think something.
And you won.
You might have sold it at some point.
No, because I never got money for it. But it might not have added it to my equipment.
That might also be possible. I think, as I remember it,
It's probably in a tavern somewhere.
it was a red garnet worth 1,000 gold. That's what I think I wrote down.
Yeah, I'm poor, so I have 1,000 gold on me. So
Wait,
And
it was
most-
worth 1,000 gold?
most likely we'll
It's
still
not
have to
garnet? Isn't that like insanely much for a garnet?
I have no idea, but
Garnet,
it was
like,
quite
if we
big.
take Skyrim logic, a garnet is like 25 bucks or something.
That's how I remember it. I might be remembering it wrong.
I'm trying to find something in my notes, but
Well,
I
you're
haven't
not
written
very good with
anything about
money
it.
and knowing the value of things.
This is me not not knowing.
Well, anyways, the reason why we're looking for this garnet is because I talked to Sin again. And he asked if I have found the gem and the wallhammer. Like, as if it might be on the same spot.
Well, I can't find it on me, so I might have lost it.
I don't believe you. You're always lying about every single possession we find.
You solved it, didn't you?
I
Fucking Kalen.
can tell
Ask
you.
Kevin.
I thought we identified it. Maybe we didn't.
I don't think he did, because I think he you know, we don't know this, but I think he pocketed it. Like,
Anyways,
Of course he pocketed it, like everything else. I vote he's out.
objection. Whilst you guys are eating, can you just stay here like for 10 minutes? And I might have a trick up my sleeve, so it won't be as dangerous to be out on the seas. And I'll start to ritual cast water breathing, which lasts for 24 hours
On all of us?
on all of us. Up to 10 willing creatures. But I
What
can
if I
see.
don't want to?
Just about to say. I noticed we have the same notebook,
Yay!
except for my sticker.
You can choose to abstain if you want to, but I'm not asking. So, but you have to be willing.
Should help with your fear of water, Kaino.
Yeah, but then I want to get it as soon as possible out of the water, so
I feel like
I don't need to breathe it underwater.
I
Can
can,
ask the
I can
barmaid
help with keeping you on top of the water as well.
if she
Just
knows
doesn't last as long.
when the boat
Saving
goes to
that
Baldia.
until get to the boat.
Not
Yep,
sure.
got your back.
You'd have to hire a boat, I think. I think there are any
it's not-
regular.
it's
Okay,
not
so
like
it's
a
not like a ferry. It's okay.
Oh.
How much is it normally? Do you have any idea?
I have no idea.
Okay.
We can buy a boat for this beautiful red garnet.
What?
Huh? The barmaid?
It's more expensive than I can afford. That's all I know. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Is there usually like transport between the two cities? Like any goods or anything?
I believe there used to be a lot, but it's been slowing lately. The last few years. A lot of ships have sunk in the area.
Thanks.
Sea monster?
Just think it's just storms and dangerous weather in the area.
Pirates.
Not that I've heard of.
Do you know who we should ask, maybe?
Ship's captain? Someone on the docks, I don't know.
Good start. Thanks.
No problem. I see a trap hunter just wrote in the chat. That is Benjamin and also for Grissom. He has a lot of names. He said he's on his way.
Good.
Nice.
Noise.
For the time being, he's half asleep following us.
Half
Yes.
asleep,
Waiting
half
for,
drunk.
Yes.
Yeah.
waiting for it to kick in. It takes a while.
Alcohol usually cancels.
And gives him more exhaustion.
Yeah.
You don't know that. None of you saw.
I do. No, it's good.
We just know that he's still sleepy and tired. Probably.
Let's hit the docks.
Yes.
Head to docks.
It's just outside the door. What the?
Yeah, go outside the door and docks now. You all exit the tavern to the bustling streets of Kaloon.
Is it a
With
big
the sea.
city?
Kaduna with the sea.
No, it's a mid-sized sort of port city. So there's a lot of sort of trade going on in the area.
I have these coins that I've been carrying around for some time. Maybe we should try to see if they have somewhere that will buy them. Do I see any like a general store that would buy something like that, perhaps?
In the area you are now, it's the tavern, and to the left you see the large fish market, which mostly
Okay,
seems
so-
to sell fish and fruit.
Mostly food.
But along the streets you see a lot of different like vendors and stalls and shops and everything.
Someone looks like a collector of.
Give me a investigation check.
What was that?
Just you, if you were the one looking.
Yeah.
Because if I remember correctly, it was for special interest people, we can sell them for good money. But for other people, it's
Three.
fresh.
Or just the material.
Okay, have you been here before?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yes. We had been here before.
Yeah, we have been here before, yeah.
Yeah.
This is why you should keep notes.
Don't you have like contacts and stuff for special items to be sold?
What didn't we ask when we were?
And you said you had it, I think.
What's it called? The
Maybe.
pen? The silent pen? No.
Silent Blades.
Silent Blades.
Yes.
Ah.
That's what
They
they'll-
probably would know.
Yeah.
I got some contacts and stuff.
Well, I don't know. They threw me out, so
Oh.
But I think I mentioned these coins for you. Earlier on you said that you had like special contacts and stuff. You knew people.
yeah, from the test.
Did
I'm
you
sure if
roll
there's
investigation?
Yeah, I rolled a 3.
3.
Oh.
Okay. So you look through the streets, look at the different shops and stalls, and you see a lot of interesting shops, a lot of interesting stalls. Mostly they're into like clothing and general goods. You don't see any that seem to be
I think
collectors
we might
type
have
shops.
better luck in Balder. Looks like a larger city.
Is it larger?
It's slightly larger.
Yeah. Okay.
That's sort of the used to be the main trading hub.
I'll help you find
And
some
keep them.
Balder next time.
Thank you.
Big, better odds.
Yes. Is there like a? Does it look like there's stock office or anything, or is it just bolts on the?
You walk through the shopping streets, the fish market and everything, and down towards the docks where it opens up properly, and you see like a wooden dock all over with a lot of people walking back and forth, and you see like 6 ships are just docked at the moment. And there we have Fergrissa.
Hey,
Oh,
suddenly
sneaky.
perking up.
I'm so glad that door isn't like
Squeaky.
squeaky
Yeah.
anymore.
Oh, you fixed it?
Yeah.
Um,
I did the minimal effort thing and actually fixed it.
Ow.
what happened?
So
Sorry, guys.
Hello!
yay!
Better late than never.
Mm.
welcome to the table.
So now you have nothing better to do again.
No, that's
Good.
right. That's completely right.
Yes.
So now the Talepi water is finally taking effect.
Yeah. So Hicks served you a
Cup of tea.
Talepi water drink.
And that is?
That is to quicken you up because you
Like
were very
coffee.
tired.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But it was infused with booze.
Alcohol.
That was Kalen.
Kaelin snuck some alcohol to you.
Yeah, but he knows I like it.
Yeah,
So-
right. That's why.
At this point, you just walked through the fish market and down to the docks. The smell of fish mostly woke you up,
Understandable.
Yeah.
But at least it's fresh, hopefully.
and you see 6 large ships docked in Kadun at the moment. And you see a lot of people sort of running back and forth, carrying boxes, carrying different trading goods around.
Can I?
So, do any of you know how to sail?
No, I usually travel through land, not through water.
Get a
Do
boat
I know?
with sails.
I will go from the island to the market.
Wait, sail over?
I think we should look for like the cleanest ship.
I did
Not
search for
necessarily the
boat.
nicest, but the
No.
cleanest. But I mean, because I think they
I'm
are the ones
thinking
that
it
care
was
about.
assisted.
Hmm?
I was thinking it was assisted.
You think so?
I agree with Naruk. If we find a clean ship, that means they care about the ship, and since they are still sailing, it probably do the job well.
You also have water breathing for 24 hours.
Because of the water brew?
No, because of,
That would be
because
cool.
of my spell.
Oh, thanks! Gotta get more of that tea.
Magical tea. So can we? Is there a ship that looks cleaner than the others, or like more?
So all
kept-
6 of the ships look pretty good. We have like size differences, and there's one ship that is like at least 10% bigger than the others. It also seems a little bit more well kept. But all of the ships are pretty large, like proper trading ships.
They seem kind of similar to me.
Should check like well the different ships are going. If anyone's heading that way already.
Yes,
That's
and
a good idea.
prices.
Yeah, they're probably not heading to the same direction, everyone.
No.
That's a good idea.
Why don't we set our own course?
You wanna You
You
wanna
want
buy
to
a
rent
boat?
a ship, Kel? You want to rent a ship, of course.
Yeah, I want to borrow a ship.
No, I think we have to find a smaller ship that
I don't think we can
isn't
afford
full of
that.
cargo.
I don't think we can sail it unless we have captain.
Are you a captain?
No. I don't usually go near water.
No.
Do we know how far it is across the sea? Is it a sea?
You can see it on the map. Each one of those hexes are approximately 2 seconds. 10 kilometers each hex, approximately.
So, in time, how many days or hours of travel?
Did I say 3 days or so? 4 days? It's not that far.
One hex.
Oh, one hex? No, the entire. No.
X-boat? What?
There are hexes on the map.
Let me see.
21
You finally got the
hexes?
map.
Yeah, finally.
3 days. So
I think
can
it-
make 70
I think
kilometers a day.
Maybe we would die.
Probably
if
cheaper if we can just follow along with someone that's already headed there.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
I think
would have been,
it seemed like
Run up to the first
there might
spot
be
I
some
see
dangers in the
and
waters,
ask
and
will
then
they all
ships
come.
that's already headed there might know a bit more about those dangers, maybe?
So you run up to a boat and you see someone just running with a box over towards the plank up to the ship. So you just step in front.
Where you heading?
Hello, we're going to Kentro. Just up with the map.
That's when you're departing.
Later today, I think in an hour or two. As soon as we can get all the goods on.
You don't know
Do you want to help us with the ship?
if we can.
We always need more deckhands.
We can get it alright to the Baldia.
Oh no,
Oh god, that was harsh.
we are not going near Baldiar anymore.
Why?
Well, ships don't usually come back from there
From Baldiar?
But you.
or arrive there. I
How do
believe.
you surpass it?
Brave captain.
I mean, how
Still go.
how far out do you go to go around it on the way to get?
We can leave you on the shore about a day or two walks away.
Let's check the other ships first.
Come on, come back to. Thank you, though.
Do you know, by the way, how much would that cost? Like to be set off
I mean, we will
a
help
day
them with
if we help? Some of us are quite strong.
Then he just looks over you.
I want to walk up to any sailor and just ask, like, so, what you reckon? How many people does it take to sail that ship, for example?
Is that a small ship or a big?
That's an interesting question. I usually think about these things myself during the day. It's very interesting. One of these ships,
I'm a ship enthusiast.
I would say 50 sailors should do it,
50 sailors.
depending on how far you're going. That's for a short trip.
So they're all the same, about the same size.
Well, that's the small one that you were pointing at.
Mm.
Let's say if you go over to the biggest one here, that would be about 75 people, at maybe 60 at minimum could make it. But that would
That's
mean
a
double
large
shifts
crew.
for everyone.
See, I don't have such a large crew.
How many do you have?
Less than 10.
So a rowing boat. That sounds like it would fit you.
Rowing boat? No,
You know,
I've
there's
heard
always-
about these
just-
sailing ships, sailing vessels that
If you just head over to the tavern there's always people looking for work.
Let's just gather up 50.
Free drinks on everyone! Everyone joins the ship!
I would say we ask the captains around here before we start hiring 50 people.
They're a ship we don't know.
And again, I don't think we
Might
have
be
that
fun, though.
much money.
Oh.
And I think if we find a boat that goes to Baldia, it's gonna be a shady fucking boat compared to what this guy just told me.
Or we could just go to the and walk.
But I
Oh,
can
that's
help
a
us.
long way to walk.
I have the ability to somewhat control the weather, the direction of the wind.
So you wanted to head over to the next ship? Is that what you said?
I mean, yeah. I get some.
Either find a shady boat that goes in, or
I would say we go from boat to boat until we find one that actually can take us there.
Let's do that. Come with me, Relgalin. Let's go.
So you continue to the next boat. It's a bit smaller, but still pretty large. And right by the gangplank, you see a man just sitting on a chair there. And as you approach, he just looks up at you. Or straight forward.
I actually had to think for that. But yeah.
Hello, miss.
Hello, you seem like a man bold enough to venture into Baldia.
Well, not willingly, but for money.
How
I
much
get that.
money are we talking?
How many people?
We are 6.
6 people. Baldiar today.
Well, preferably.
Yeah.
I have trade good going there. I've had it just lying around for a while. How about 1,500 gold?
Listen, friend, can you cut us a little deal?
We're definitely stealing
What
shit.
kind of deal?
Yeah, I was thinking if we help a little bit in the works, learn a little bit,
I got 1,000.
ease the burden a little bit for you men.
Let's see, I could hire deckhands for, I don't know, a copper piece per week, so let's say 14.99.
I would say a normal deckhand might not have the powers I have to control the weather. I say, and I do like this, and a little lightning bolt appears.
Parlor tricks. Interesting. 14.98.
It's going down, you guys.
Is it windy? No.
There's a little bit of a gust, yeah.
Then I make it turn the other way.
You just see his locks just switch over to the other side. 1,000.
1,000?
1,000?
That sounds
Oh,
good to
God.
me.
She seems half decent.
Yeah, I can do stuff too. But sure, 1,000 gold pieces.
Whatever.
We're leaving in an hour. Be here
We're paying now.
if you want to.
Sure. I'll get him 1,000 gold.
The people
Rich.
who's got
Like
money.
half-assed.
Like, I was just...
Isn't it like service first and then you pay after the service?
half in front,
Go back
rest
and I
on
want the
delivery.
job. I mean, I said no. I got nowhere to be.
No.
Like we ship like on the way.
As
So.
a sign of good fault.
She sold a couple of tinfoil hats.
Good favor.
Cool. Good. Yep. So you're all just standing around him.
Yep, with him.
So I'm guessing you're ready already.
We're ready.
Yeah, we are. Can you show us to the quarters?
Jokes on.
Jeffrey, can you show them some rooms? And then a small halfling comes running down. Come with me, please.
Hi, Jeffrey.
Hello. So where are you guys going?
Well, they are.
Oh,
Is
Yeah.
that a bad way?
well, they say it's very dangerous.
Why?
Storms. A lot of storms.
We have a storm solar, so
So,
over
yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Anyway,
Cool.
apparently close to Baldur there's been storms for a few years now, and crush ships all the time.
Oh, so it's
But our
pretty
captain is
interesting.
fantastic, so he'll lead us through it.
I'm sure he can.
By the way, you haven't heard a rumor about the captain named Jack Arrow?
Jack Sparrow?
No, Jack Arrow?
No.
Oh,
I've not heard this name.
no, I was just thinking if your captain is as good as he is, then we're probably not gonna fail.
No, Steven is fantastic.
Steven?
Yeah.
Ah, we never got his name, so now we know. Captain Steven.
What's the ship called?
Ships have names?
Usually, I think so.
I don't know. Ask Steven. He might have called her something.
Maybe it's just Steven's ship.
That's what I call it. Sup, rooms?
Yeah.
Yes.
Follow me, please. And then he just skips up the plank again and onto the deck and shows you some rooms in the ship. It's pretty large, and you have like separate quarters for yourselves if you want to. And we wait
Then we wait.
an hour.
As soon as we get on the ship, I'll gather everyone in one room
Mm-hmm.
and start to cast Water Walk.
Walk?
Or can I do it? I can only do it on myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't. No, up to 10 willing creatures.
But how long does it last?
1 hour.
So then you should wait.
So I'll recast. I can do it as ritual. So I'll recast it every hour.
Every 15 minutes.
Every 15 minutes, unless something.
Okay.
Yeah, prohibits me from doing it, or until nightfall gets.
Sounds tiresome.
Yeah.
Exhaustion. No.
Well, if you want
be
to,
careful.
if you wanted to have some limits on it,
No,
it's
it's
fine.
fine. I don't.
It's,
What
you've been scaring us with monsters and storms and
What is
whatnot.
the casting time? Does it say?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Yeah.
Just regular.
It's just the chat saying it takes an hour to cast, I think. Rectified to 10 minutes.
I think it's a ritual and the duration 1 hour.
And the ritual is 10 minutes, and the duration is 1 hour.
Yeah.
So that's good.
What did you do to us, Noruk?
You can walk on water.
We can walk on water?
Yeah. You can test it out if you want.
Oh, I never actually walked on water.
Just remember, I'm not sure how it works if you try and jump from the boat. So maybe just climb down.
All damage.
How big is the ship? Oh, how tall is it?
From
It's
the
more
deck,
like the...
it's probably like... How tall would the deck be? About 10 meters
Also, which
down
of
to
the
the
six
water.
ship was it? Was
10
it
meters, so
in the like
that's 30
smaller end or like bigger?
Well, even the small ones were big.
Yeah,
You know what?
50
I'll do
kilos.
it. As soon as you say that, I'll just run out of the room and up, and then just jump over the ridge down on the water.
Give me an acrobatics check.
I'll jump after.
He fetch
I'm a
plants.
dancer
I'll wait and see how it goes, and if it goes well, I'll join.
Acrobatics, that's actually really good. That's 18.
You jump right after.
That one or a 10?
That one?
Yeah.
Okay. So you see both of them just start running on deck towards the railing. He stoops over, and he tries to mimic him. But his foot catches on the railing, and he flips over. So you fall down or jump down to the water. And
Isn't it like hitting like a hard surface now?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to do
I
it like
think-
when
no,
I
you
jump
can-
over the
I
edge,
think
I
you
want
can
to do it
choose.
like a
So
butterfly
you can
spin.
submerge if you want, I think.
Looking really cool.
And
He look-
50 crew, that's probably
he
a
looks
large ship.
amazing. And as he lands, you just hear a large crack. And you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage
Totally
as you
worth
land
it.
on basically concrete. You doing the same thing. You fall straight on your face.
Slow fall?
feet down into concrete.
Yeah. It looks stupid.
And you slow fall
Slow
or
fall.
feather fall.
Slow fall? Like a reaction
Slow
to
fall, yeah.
this damage.
So as you see him landing and it seems to hurt him, you just stop yourself and land softly down on your face.
Softly down on my face.
It looks silly though.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Well, I could have just missed a step down, but totally worth it. So, which other windows in rooms?
Yeah, you see a lot of like hollow holes in that
So,
with
for the
windows.
fun of it, we just jump on the side where they can see us out the window.
No, I'm not going.
You see like a lot of the crew has started gathering around the railing looking down and just looking at you guys standing
I
in the
just,
water.
when I see that it's working, I just
Yeah,
run
yeah,
up and join them.
Yeah.
Jump as well.
You jump.
Yeah, I jump.
I just look over the railing and
Can I
shaking my
dip
head.
my toe into the water?
You do not seem to pass through
A
the
3
surface. 3.
for acrobatics.
You jump over. You land okay down in the water. and take 9 points of damage, bludgeoning damage. And it really hurts your legs, and you're just sitting there for a little while, just, oh, damn.
I'll start walking around, just massaging my feet.
Yeah.
My feet, I mean
Then
my
my,
feet.
It seems to be
That's
fine.
so annoying.
then my glee over the situation takes over, and I just start like running and jumping. Water. Kind of like it's a
So
trampoline.
is the water like bouncing us, or is it just completely hard and
It's
the waves
completely
just
hard, yeah.
comes and goes and we just woo?
Yeah. So it's basically like concrete that moves, but it's not giving anything to your feet.
Cool.
I also want to jump around a little bit.
It's hard to explain it because there's nothing like it in the real world, so it's amazing.
And then I'll just misty step up on boarding.
You're running, he's running, and then you just see him disappear.
I always pictured, stuff that if you impact it quite hard, it gets solid, and if you don't impact it very hard, it can submerge into it. That's what I picture. So kind of hard and soft at the same time.
But you're walking on it, which means you wouldn't submerge into it at all.
No,
So it's just
kind of
hard.
both.
Compact, hard water.
Jesus, get it right.
Which also means you can run at full speed and everything on the water.
You'd
Fight
think these guys
properly.
had never seen magic before. What's wrong with them?
How far up is it to the mast, to the lookout?
Tallest mast, I don't know boats. Let's say that would be pretty tall, like 50 meters maybe.
50
No.
meters?
50 feet.
50 feet, yeah. I was just 50 feet and look at the boat just. Ooh. So that's 10, 15, 16 meters.
Approximately, yeah.
Isn't that
And the chat can tell me if that makes
Not
sense
that
at all.
far, I believe. It's only 30 feet.
30 feet?
The other, like,
There's a ladder up,
oh yeah, I'll just
so
climb.
they're always all the way up.
I'll
Do
just
this
climb.
climb? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Yep, you easily climb up to the top. There's a lookout, and then you hear from below.
Crow's nest.
Hey, get down from there.
Sorry, just wanted to see. I'll start crawling down again. Childs on
And
boats.
as you get down, mister, this is not a plaything.
Yeah, I
You are
understand.
guests here.
But it's
Please.
the first time I've been on a boat, okay? I mean, Captain is a little sly.
You're excused.
Thank you.
It is fun.
Yeah, it is,
That's
right?
true.
Yeah. You can see everything from up there. Almost.
You can see the world. That's pretty awesome.
So, is it your place to be up there?
No, it's this, and then you see the small halfling again.
Oh, hi.
Hello. Do you want me to show you?
Jeffrey. No, I was just wondering. Look around a little bit. When we get out to the sea, can I join you up there for a little bit?
Sure, sure.
It's probably
Nice.
better out in the sea, isn't it?
It is.
I want to be Frodo again and put on the ring and explore the ship a little bit. I want to.
As you do, you see 6 ring wraiths.
I want to see what's their cargo and where the captain's quarter is.
Yeah.
Maybe find out some, search for some documents. Find out what
The entrance to
what
the
it's all
captain's
about.
quarters is just right on the deck, on the back. On the aft portion of the deck or boat. And it's pretty large. And you see like all of the furniture is like gold inlaid. And you're the only one inside right now.
So, I assume there's a desk. I want to
Yeah.
open some drawers.
Huge oak desk in the middle.
Yeah.
You're surprised the floor can handle it.
Yeah, I want to open some drawers and side
Yeah.
like.
Just give me an investigation. Are you looking for anything in particular? Looking out for anything in particular?
Yeah, like I don't know, maybe some sort of like travel diary or like documentation on where the ship has been and.
As you enter the captain's cabin, you do see a travel log right on the desk, a large book.
And investigation. In that?
You see this large book, And you see that this vessel lately has been going just back and forth between Kadun and Kentra. But it also had a log a little further down to Sinkadi recently. It also has one to Vatimari in the recent, like that's the last 2 years. It's just been going through these 4 cities. Nothing, not even once to Baldiar on the logs.
Okay, alright. Is there like a cargo manifest?
You do find a few manifests. They seem to be old, all of them. But usually it's like linen, food, stuff like that.
Well, after seeing that the captain has like a large quarter and has some like gold furniture and stuff, I wanna check out the cargo myself.
Do anyone want to do anything while he's doing this? Takes
Frolicking on the
few
strange water concrete surface around the boat.
Crew is still just looking down at you.
I'm just enjoying the view, being happy to be by the coast again, seeing the ocean.
Technically, you've always been close to the ocean.
Oh, yes.
Just saying, yeah.
Ah, yeah.
You've been traveling along the coastline all the time, except
Yeah,
for when
there's
you
a
went to
road
the
going
dragons.
all around there.
I would probably try and continuously try and jump and make a splash without success.
I walk around
I
following.
would say that you could possibly choose to partially submerge yourself,
Okay.
since you're controlling the magic,
Then I would choose
but
to.
other people could not.
Okay. Then I would choose to make a splash.
So you could also sit like on the water and dip your feet and stuff like that.
I would probably do everything.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
I want to try and do everything then if I see her doing
While she's doing, you seem to not be able to.
it.
Can I?
I'll
But if
still
you
try.
notice,
Can
you
I
can
just
choose.
drop her in?
Definitely.
But doesn't it drop down for anybody?
Do you know if she can swim?
Doesn't it drop for anybody then?
You will have to spend another 10 minutes to get her.
So I can't just say that it's soft like for a
No.
bit.
That would drop it entirely.
Then I won't do it. Maybe tonight when I won't have to use a level 3 spell to get it back again.
Why did you say that? Why did you say anything? You could have drowned.
That'll be fun.
I'll just walk around with following Jeffrey and other sailors, just small talking, try to learn about new
Yeah.
places, and
They're just bustling about,
yeah.
barely answering you quickly, keeping tying ropes, cleaning, moving stuff.
So just pay attention.
Paying attention.
Just looking around.
You don't see Kaelin anywhere. It's very surprising. It's
Not anymore.
Not anymore, not
Not
after
even
the ring. Not after the ring.
not even before the ring. Okay, you head below deck down to the cargo hold. As always, no one notices you, as they're not really paying attention either at this point.
And it's not like
So you don't
behind
even
bars
notice
or
those chairs.
anything, behind the locked doors. Alright.
It's just open and fine because people are still moving stuff in and out. So you do have to juggle between
Dodge
people
them,
and
yeah.
dodge them and jump out of the way and stuff like that, but you
Easy.
easily handle it. And then I want you to roll me an investigation check as you're looking into the different boxes and stuff like that.
14.
You look through the different boxes, you find a lot of food, linen, you find some bricks, some interesting stuff. And then all the way in the back, underneath some linen, you do find a lot of like bags. And as you open them, you see there are different spices that you didn't see on the manifests.
Just spices, you know.
Taste this.
Okay, well, I'm satisfied. Like my way back up because I don't want to stay underneath below deck for too long.
Sounds good. You make your way back up again.
And right before I just get all the way back up, I just get visible again.
As you exit, you see A lot of the crew are not working and just standing by the railings as you hear some joyous laughter and water splashing from below.
Kalen and all the kids.
Well, at least the kids are enjoying this little boat trip.
Yeah.
Imagine for 3-4 days.
Well, I'm here actually working, trying to
steal something.
trying to get familiar with our boat.
And what kind of treasures are on it?
You don't know that.
And then suddenly you hear someone step up to the boat. Okay, everyone, we're ready to leave. Get to your stations, we're casting off.
Hey guys, get in here.
I see we have passengers. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Captain Stephen, was it?
Name's Steven, yes. Steven Amara.
Mara.
Was there anything like a name on any of like the documents I looked up, like for the ship?
You only saw Steven's own name. Welcome to my ship.
Thank you very much.
I hear we're going to Baldiar.
Yes.
Thank you. I've wanted to go there for a while, but couldn't really, justify the travel and the danger. My crew probably doesn't thank you as much as I do, but it's going to be a good journey.
Yeah, I hear it can get exciting on the way there.
Definitely.
Bad
I will do
weather,
my best to
rocks.
Thank you, miss. I heard you can do some fanciful stuff.
I can.
I don't like magic on my boat, but I brought 3 extra cats, so we should be safe.
What? Okay.
At this point, I'll probably start to begrudgingly go back on the boat. Stop playing.
Do you have to go all the way around after the bridge and then on board?
I'm guessing there's like a rope ladder and something.
No, that's been lowered down now.
Then I'll run around.
There are like ladders up to the dock.
Mhm.
Yeah. Climb those. Do you follow or do you stay in the water?
I follow. I
Good.
can try to climb up the boat.
That is something you could probably do. Give me an acrobatics check.
13?
13. Yeah, you easily enough manage to climb up the side of the boat. And
I
as she
can
gets
see
on,
this.
you see.
And I feel stupid.
Probably take some time also go around
Yeah.
the boat, so.
So, Captain, I only have one tiny request. Can we take the quickest route?
We always do.
Okay.
Why waste time?
Exactly.
Time is money. Money is time. And I probably don't have too much time left here on this planet, so.
Yeah. And we paid a lot of money to make this journey quick.
And some will probably pay even more to get off that place.
Yeah, we're kind of the weird crew, so.
Have fun. I have stuff to do.
Yes.
Yeah, we won't be in your way.
Thank you.
Suddenly slumber over an
And
invisible
then they
Kalen.
take up the anchor and the boat starts moving. Sails go down. And it starts heading out of port, out into the open sea. What color would the sea be in a red sun planet?
Yeah,
It
if it
is
is blue with red reflection, it would be its purple.
probably dark purple. Yeah. So,
So
But
I
the
would
ocean
be
is blue because
camouflaged.
the sky is blue.
No, but the light is red.
sky
Yes.
isn't blue. Sky is purple,
Yeah, so
What?
then the
So
ocean
everything
is
is purple.
basically. Yeah.
Huh.
So I'm camouflaged everywhere.
And you all are wearing purple, so that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So does that give us advantage on stealth
No.
checks? No.
So okay, we're heading out into the ocean's purple.
Okay. Kalen,
Sounds wrong.
Kalen takes a rope and ties himself to the main mast.
I'll walk over to you and
A lot of the deckhands are just standing around laughing at you.
Kale, what are you doing? Are you scared of water?
I don't want to fall off.
You don't want to fall off.
No.
But you can walk on water, so you can just run back.
I don't trust it.
You don't? We
No.
just tried it out. It works perfectly.
I heard you were having fun.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we actually had fun. So
Fun.
But
it was about time. I mean, we are always in danger. Something.
Yeah, but it will take a lot more than a little bit of magic to
Just as you
make
say
me
that,
comfortable for.
you just feel the entire boat like races up into the air and then goes back down again hard.
well, I'm used to this. I have been on the oceans around Valyar.
I'm just practicing on this terrain.
Sounds like a good idea. You all just see Hicks standing there with his
Yeah, there we go.
quarterstaff just dancing around on the deck. Probably on the railings.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. Doing backflips and kicks and
Saying that, I probably drop water walk without saying anything to anyone.
just getting a little bit jealous.
No, just in case he falls in. He won't
Then he
fall
stays
on con-
behind and drowns.
No, he won't fall on concrete.
Safety.
I
Fall
can
in the
still
water
cast
and
it in
drown
an
instead.
emergency.
But the ship will continue going. He will be left behind.
Yeah, he would be that anyways if he fell off.
Probably not.
Actually could catch up to the boat easily because of his speed.
And I have slow fall.
Yeah,
And I
but
can't
I
swim.
don't know that.
Wait a minute, so
I
what
can
you're
still
saying
cast it.
is we should actually just walk over the water and have her
Because it would be
swim
quicker.
Because it would be quicker.
Not technically.
No.
Because you would have to rest every
Yeah.
8 or 9 hours or so.
And we have to wait 10 minutes every hour
No, you
Yes.
Waves.
for the water walking too.
But if you made a pallet so you could carry me, I could recast it, and you could do all the work.
You need to sleep.
Yeah, but she can sleep on a... No, she
I
can't.
can sleep 40 out of... I can sleep 50 minutes per hour.
I just see you all on the
Oh my
middle of the
God.
ocean. Now dying of exhaustion. And you guys just starting to sink into the water slowly.
Like this was drowning.
Like 2 days away from any coast.
Sheep coming by, just looking weird at
No,
us.
no
What are
ships.
they doing?
Nothing. Just open ocean.
Yeah.
Because none of the ships want to go to Valyar.
Yeah, true.
As we start to get quite far from the shore, Narek is kind of losing her joy and kind of realizing that we're far away from everything that's familiar and out in the big scary ocean.
Yeah, I'll smile a little bit after the conversation with Kale and I'll help tie him up.
No, I already do it myself. But as soon as I see that people start like laughing at me, especially also the crew, I just untie myself.
Like 15-year-old small humans just
Yeah. I'll just walk off like below deck and put on my ring.
If he vomits with the ring on, then the vomit just appears on the floor.
Yep.
Let's not find out. Yeah, so you're on the boat. Time goes by. After a while, the only thing you can see is the ocean purple. Nothing else.
I try to focus a little bit if the wind drifts off so that we are staying on course, and I try to help the speed of the boat. You know.
Actually, I want to try too with prestidigitation. With a puff of wind. I can
Try
do
it and you
that.
just see it doesn't affect the sails.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he knocks the ship off course by 1 degree. Okay.
Don't do it.
No. No, as far as you know.
The sailors would probably know.
Captain Stevens remarks that we're going faster than usual. The winds are with us.
I told you I'd help.
It's the cats.
It's
Definitely the cats.
Isn't that exhausting if you're...
It doesn't say anything about it.
It's just a cantrip.
No, it's just a storm sorcerer thing.
Oh.
Storm
cool.
guide. You gain the ability to subtly control the weather around you. If it's raining, you can use an action to cause rain to stop falling in a 20-foot radius.
You're so cool.
If it's windy, you can use a bonus action each round to choose the direction the wind blows in a 100 feet radius sphere centered on you.
That's actually
Benjamin
pretty
feels impotent beside you.
Yeah, just standing there. Yeah, yeah.
The wind blows in that direction until the end of your next turn. So basically, yeah, I can just keep on doing
Every 6 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, what are you doing over there?
I've got my powers. I'm just keeping the direction of the wind and the correct orientation.
That makes sense. It's a very interesting motion. Cool. Anyway, keep at it.
I will.
How much to hire you for another journey?
We'll see. Depends how much you were able to pay me.
We'll talk about it later.
We have other issues to get to first, anyways.
I need to prepare for the next couple of days in Baldiar.
What's gonna happen?
I've only gone past. I almost went in, but the storms were just too great, so we turned around. Our sister ship went in. They never arrived.
How
How
close
do you
did they
know?
get? Do you know?
Land routes. We checked with the port office in Baldiar. The ship never arrived.
Was it like the same as this ship?
Basically, yes. Both from the same shipyard. Same time. It's my brother, Captain Stephen.
Steven, your last name?
Yes.
Omara was your first then?
Yes.
Oh, Stephen
Stephen
Omara.
O'Mara.
But you would probably say it the other way around, wouldn't you?
You're disrespecting my culture.
No, 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 no. Where are you from, by the way?
I am from the north.
Ah. So is it custom there to have your...
Some parts.
Oh, so you're probably from those parts then? I see.
I'm from around a small village called Monwalton.
And what? I've been there.
Cool.
Yeah.
You've traveled the world, I see.
Yeah, a little bit when I was younger. Or younger. It's actually been all my life. But yeah.
Interesting. But you do the opposite way?
Yeah, I usually go on the route on foot.
No, I mean your name.
Oh yeah, Fair Grissa.
So it's... Your family name is Fur or Grissa?
Grissa is like a bastard name.
Oh, you're a bastard.
Or I don't know. It's a no. I have no idea.
It's a name.
Yeah, it's just a name that I got.
Did you name your boat?
Name my boat.
No.
I've heard of some people doing it, but it didn't feel right.
No.
It's just a Stevens family boat.
Så jobbar Donna varit ombildad then?
So, you know, me going to Baldiar now
Does it look like you?
proves that I am the better brother.
Oh, so you're not looking for him or nothing. He's...
No, he's probably dead.
Hey, Steven, is it a long time since you've been to Norway?
It's been a few years now.
So you haven't heard?
After we started our boating business, we stopped going back. It's not really by the proper ocean.
No, it isn't. And it isn't that big either. But... So you haven't heard any news later in the years?
Not, I think it's been, what, 10 years now
10 years.
since I was there last.
I was there for like 4 months ago, I believe. 4 or 5 months.
How's it doing?
Yeah, it was great when I left. I mean, yeah, it
It's
is now.
probably great still. Yeah, it's just a small fishing village.
Yeah, it is really quiet.
I'll go back one day when I retire, if I get that far in life. Probably won't, especially with you guys paying me to do fun stuff.
Well, high risk, high reward.
That's what my brother always said.
Yeah, well, sometimes
Well-
you just gotta try your luck.
Yeah, it's worth it. Cold cash.
And cats.
No, the cats, they're just for luck.
Yeah. Money for fortune, cats for luck.
We'll probably eat them once we reach Baldiar.
Is that a
usually-
custom too?
Yeah, I don't really like cement your luck for the home journey.
Yeah, so how does a cat taste?
Just like chicken.
Yeah, I've never tried to eat a cat before, so
Sounds
yeah.
interesting.
I've never tried chicken, to be honest, so
Oh,
it's too expensive.
so that's why there were
It's
so
poisonous.
that's why there were so few cats in. Well, I can't remember seeing any cats there.
You could find them at the market, probably.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
delicacy, it's pretty good.
Naruk is probably here, not here, she's probably playing with the kittens.
Or it would be nice to try sometime. It sounds interesting.
Well, if we make the Baldiar, we'll share some cat.
Thank you.
Your entire group can share in this
Hmm?
experience. Your entire group can share in this experience. You did pay for them after all.
I'm sure they would like to join.
So I'll just
Three
look away.
cats?
Yeah,
It
just
sounds
shake
like
my
a
head slightly.
big feast, but I'm guessing I just need a little bite to be lucky.
The tail is pretty good. We usually put it on a stick, fry it.
Oh, yeah,
Fantastic.
crunchy.
Yes.
Sounds very interesting. I've only been eating sheep mostly, and they don't have too much of a tail to make any food from.
Sheep is good.
Sheep is very good,
Yeah.
but I do enjoy exploring other foods now that I'm not at the farm anymore.
I usually stopped eating sheep after I left home. No one beat my mother's recipe.
Exactly, that's my feeling as well. My family, they make the best food ever.
Yeah, parents' food is the best. I miss my parents.
I do as well. I miss my mother.
Nice talk.
Yes,
Nice talk.
yes. Let's get going.
Right, so yeah.
I've got some dust in my eyes. I'm just gonna go back to my cabin.
Did I get the feeling the parents also did?
Yeah.
That's why it was because the awkward silence.
Okay,
Okay.
we keep traveling on the ocean. Eventually gets to the evening.
At some point, Naruk would probably use Vice shape to change into a cat to join the other cats. To
Try
hunt
not
her.
to get eaten.
Yeah.
She doesn't know about that yet.
Yep.
To try and hunt for mice and play and just join them.
They
And
seem
keep her mind from being on the ocean.
They seem very hostile and doesn't like you at first, but then gets used to you and starts playing with you.
Playing or competing for food.
Playing.
If I felt that they were hungry, I would probably change back and steal some food for them and change back again.
Probably did.
I got the feeling that the captain specifically wanted 3 cats on board. Now with 4 cats on board, it's probably bad lucky.
Again, Naruk wouldn't know, and
Yeah,
she
he just takes one cat, just throws it overboard.
Yeet.
No. He doesn't even care anymore. Cats are just down under the deck. Okay, the day goes by, nothing more eventful happens unless you guys want to do something eventful.
No.
Please do.
I'm casting sending.
Yep.
Yes.
It gets to the evening.
To Pokey. Gonna just feel around. How does it feel to send to a dead person?
Interesting. What do you say to Mr. Pokey?
Hi, Pokey. So you're dead. Oh, cool. Be good.
As you cast a spell and focus on Pokey, you feel that the spell is successful and a message goes out, but you don't get any response.
Same as with Gaten. Does anybody around? I will tell them.
Yeah, you would have probably done that in your evening meeting.
I'm guessing we have the evening meal together.
Yeah.
Okay, so most likely she's dead then. Or in a coma or something.
She's probably dead.
That complicates things a little bit.
Oh no, she just didn't respond.
Yes. Could be she was a...
Since that, I should be careful with what I say.
Mhm.
So they might have their own
They might be able to
observation.
listen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
listen in.
Maybe.
I mean, the Karen Morrow seem to do mind trick stuff, so
Yeah.
they probably can listen to it if they receive messages like that.
They might even be able to intercept.
Yeah,
Cancel them out.
that's a little dangerous. I don't know how that magic works.
Yeah, but I think we should be careful using it.
Yeah.
Onwards, Rochelle.
Yes.
Oh, do you remember what happened to that garnet? Have you?
So that garnet?
The red garnet we found in the crypts?
I don't remember actually if we sold it or what we did. I think we found that we didn't have a use for it.
Because I talked to Sin, and he asked me if I found the garnet and the warhammer.
He said the
Oh,
gem.
garnet gem and the warhammer, like they were in the same place.
Yeah.
Might not be in the same place, but he said, like, did you find the gem? Did you find the warhammer?
Probably the gem might have some meaning. I don't
He does
have
not
it on.
have the gem at least, so
No.
gem to... Yep. You don't have
Funny if
either?
we got rid of it.
Right.
I can check my pockets, but I don't think I have them.
Your pockets is...
Do you remember?
No, I have no idea.
Just
I feel like you guys got rid of it at some point.
Yeah, I feel it too. If that we
use
sold
it to
it
pay.
or
Yeah.
used it as payment for something.
Yeah.
Do you remember if we ever checked it out properly?
Yeah. And that's
think we
when we
checked
found
it.
out that it was just an ordinary garnet.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I'm just gonna say that me not remembering is a big clue to its importance.
I believe that's
Yeah.
why we don't remember where we got rid of it, because it was nothing magical about it.
And it was
funny.
also a garnet, and Rick said that the objects of power, or the suspected objects of power from Old King was rubies.
Yeah.
And I don't think a garnet is a ruby.
Oh.
Maybe.
The boat's name is Keith. Said Ovar in
I'm,
the chat.
Keith.
this first one,
Keith,
I
the
will
ship.
read my Sin things,
Did we have dinner
Uh,
already?
and I need to find some rubies here or gems. See if he's mentioned any gems in the naughty game. Yes.
Do we have dinner already?
Yeah.
I wanted to dine with the captain.
Big guy.
Okay. The captain returns to his quarters to dine.
I just want to appear across the table from him.
As he's eating.
As he's eating, sitting in a chair.
Just eating and whoa!
You're gonna get us thrown out.
Ooh. Thank you for the invitation.
What are you doing in here?
I thought you might want some company. I mean, looking at the food on the table.
I did not bring enough cats for this. How did you get in here?
Just same way you did, through the door.
You just appeared in front of me. You did not walk through the door.
Well, I was already inside before you came.
Too much magic, too much magic.
And yeah, I didn't use any magic. Like you said, you didn't want any magic on the ship, so...
Okay. Then what, how, what, when?
I'm just as good as that. You should keep some more security on the ship, especially if you're smuggling spices. And what else you might have below deck
How do you
that I
know about
don't,
this?
that I shouldn't know about.
How do you know about this?
Well,
Have you been snooking, mister?
no, I know a lot of things. You know, I have connections.
So, what do you want?
I want to dine together with you. Making this journey as comfortable as possible. I don't want any trouble.
Jeffrey? Yes, master. You bring this man a plate and some of the good wine. Yes, sir. Then he runs back out again. So, seems we're gonna become friends.
Well, I never said anything about friends, but
I only dine with my friends.
well, if you say so.
And then you are served a nice platter of sheep.
And this is sheep and not cat.
Sheep. Someone reminded me of sheep today. And I haven't had it for so long. I just needed to have sheep. Enjoy.
Thank you. Also, I put on the bottle I stole at the bar. Yeah, here we can also drink some of this. I mean, what a bad guest I would be if I wouldn't bring something to the table.
Brings out the bottle. So you bring cheap whiskey.
It's the best I could do.
Well, just puts it aside. This here wine. It's a 2510 vintage. I got it from some friends of mine the last time I was in Boldiar. Hoping to get some more now, thanks to you guys.
The last time you were on Boulder, when was that?
2 months back.
Didn't show up on the manifest, that's why I asked.
It usually doesn't.
So yeah, that actually comforts me, because then you know the waters.
Yeah, I am one of the few captains who like to go there. It's lucrative. And they have good wine.
Perfect.
And then you enjoy a good meal with some vintage wine.
Wine and dine.
And the rest of you go to sleep in your quarters after
Yeah.
eating.
If Nara can get away with it, she'll probably try and take the cats with her and like share her meal with them and have them in her room at night.
Yeah, you easily do that. Nobody really cares as long as they're on the boat.
Yeah.
It's good.
Still none the wiser of their fate.
And we haven't told you either.
Good.
Go to sleep.
And then you all go to sleep.
And before I go to bed, I'll maybe at the night's meal, I'll recast water breathing. So at least that's on.
Yeah.
Just in case. When we're all gathered, or everyone except for.
Caleb. He's missing all the time now.
Yeah, but I know how to spend my time.
True. So he doesn't have water
Stole
breathing.
the cat thing from a book called Galadhmir. Pretty good book.
Galadhmir, where they eat cat
Not
after a
these cats,
voyage.
but the cats on the boat means luck. That thing.
Oh yeah.
So that was just your own sick imagination.
And usually,
Yeah.
women on the
Yeah,
boat means bad luck.
Yeah, usually it does. Usually.
And umbrellas and yeah.
Okay. Night goes by, a new day comes. Still 2 days left until you're close to Baldiar. Anything you want to do for the one full day you have on the ocean?
As soon as we've eaten breakfast, I want to go get Jeffrey, and I want to get up on the outlook.
The crow's
Watching the
nest.
morning sun.
Follow me, Mr. Grissa.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to this.
It's climbing up. Seems to climb unnaturally fast.
Faster than me.
Yep.
You just missed a step in front of him.
He just bumps up, loses his grip, and falls for 16 meters. Ba-dum. No,
Okay, good.
sorry.
Yeah, so you climb up to the top and then just sit there looking out into nothing. Upon nothing, upon nothing.
With a red sun and nothing.
Yeah.
Waves.
See the red sun coming up.
No sea animals, nothing.
Not that you can see now.
Absolutely nothing.
Completely still. Barely waves.
Well, I'll still enjoy the view.
I'm still just sitting on the deck, subtly controlling the wind in the right direction.
I want to see if I can find like a telescope. Ask it on the crew and see if
Jeffrey has one. He's up on the top. Then the captain has his. If you want to ask them to borrow. Captain usually does know. But Jeffrey's a nice guy. You just have to. Oh wait.
I'll wait my turn.
Cool.
If he drags it out, I want to try.
I also want to see if I can be useful somehow. See if I can helping out. I want to help out too. See if I can find a suiting job.
You ask someone.
Scrub the deck.
You ask someone if you can help, and then they take out a broom.
I'll take it.
You just clean over there.
Yeah, I'm like strong and
Are you able to do it with just one?
yeah.
Is that mean? I'm sorry, didn't mean to be mean.
Okay. I'll solve problem.
Poor Hicks.
Who's bigger, broom or Hicks?
But hey, you got skills
A broom.
with staffs, and a broom is a staff, so you
I
can
thought,
do
why don't
fancy
I
I'm
cool
not
know
stuff.
my way around the
Yeah.
staff. No,
Look,
around the broom.
What?
I meant.
Yeah, he doesn't notice you at all. And then Jeffrey takes up his telescope. Okay.
Oh, thank you. Just whoa.
It's just a ring of water. basically.
Yeah, but still, this magnification is still baffling to me. I've never seen it, so.
If I say that, I'll just have them out.
Yeah, you see it.
I'll start looking at people on the deck with it. Just straight
You
up
see Tara
zooming
just
in at people.
very firmly just going straight towards her quarters.
You can probably
on the
see
deck.
Naruk in cat form kind of sneaking up behind Ralgalin, ready to just pounce on her hair or something. Or one of her hands while she's doing the motion.
The little waggle on the butt.
Yeah.
I want to keep my eye out for something more interesting to do as I'm running. If I see something that looks more fun. Yeah.
Well, stay up there a little bit and then I'll crawl down and thank Jeffrey for the outlook and beautiful
No
view.
problem. It was fun. I like bringing people up here.
Yeah, I see, I understand. I mean, you can look down on people.
I do all the time.
Yeah,
Only when I'm up here.
your happy place. And I'll crawl
I do
down.
like the goblin you brought.
Oh,
I'm bigger.
well, he's really strong.
Mm,
Yeah, he is.
cool.
You know, you should try to arm wrestle him. Yeah, but you can use the other
Oh,
arm.
yes, arm. Yeah.
So, Omara, do we have any cannons on board in case being attacked? Or...
Not really. We outpace most ships. That is the safest option. And if someone gets too aggressive, we just put up the white flag. It's easier to just give up your cargo than to fight.
So no weapons on board, any kind.
Not really, no. It's safer that way.
No, I don't know. I wouldn't know if there are like pirates around these areas.
There are. But they're usually going for the smaller ships, as they cannot catch us.
Aren't smaller ships usually faster?
Yep.
Interesting. So yeah, I know nothing about ships. Hence I want
It shows.
to get.
But I like that you've actually started moving around. I saw your little trick with the ropes in the start. You seemed a little scared.
Yeah, I just wanted to practice on a rope trick. I do like escape stuff.
Sounds legit. We'll go with that story. My crew is still laughing, by the way. You should probably tell them the story as well. But who cares what those people think?
Yeah, once I get off this ship, probably never see them again. So.
So we're not going back to Kaduna after?
Not as far as I know.
Cool.
Are you planning on returning?
Yeah, in a month or so. I think we're going to... not sure really. Depends on the business in Baldiar, but Vatimari maybe.
Vatimari. I love that you printed out a map.
So if you want to go to Vatimari after, it's actually faster to ride over, but you know, if you like the ocean so much.
Yeah, about that. I think I'll prefer the horse over the ship.
With your tricks, we could make a lot of money together.
Well, I don't see it as a way of making money.
Well, good to know. And you're not competition at least.
Nope. Also, you're spices are safe with me.
Thank you.
Oh, you know, I've read the map wrong because I thought the white was the ocean. So I was just about to ask you, why are there trees in the ocean?
Anyway, we are on a boat.
Yes.
So that happened. How's it feeling?
Seasick.
Good. Far from land.
It's new to some of you, familiar to some of you.
I'm wondering why I haven't rolled the Constitution save yet.
Yes, I've been thinking about the same thing.
Okay,
I said nothing.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, we continue.
Aren't in the
I
storm
was
yet.
searching through my notes to find any mention of gemstone in the notes because I can't remember he ever mentioned any gemstones. We learned that from Caitlin, right?
No, he has not mentioned the gemstone before.
So yeah, about the gemstone, I think I just forgot to add it to my inventory. I know we haven't sold it, because then I would have
Which means you
gold.
lost it in a tavern someplace.
You probably better do
Is it
that.
back, is it back in
So-
my house?
Is it lost, or should I just add it to my inventory?
It's lost.
Okay.
Unless you rewatch the YouTube videos
Was
and
it
find out
worth
what happened to
a
it.
1,000 gold?
Was it worth 1,000 gold?
Oh,
Yeah, but then I would have.
But I'm thinking, didn't
I'll
we
go.
pay
should just
something with the gem?
I believe
Keeping
you.
track of
we
my
pay
money.
with
I
the
do believe you
black,
spent it or
rice.
something at some point.
Yeah, I do believe that too.
Yeah.
Did we?
I think we
I
paid
think
for
we
something.
paid something, yeah.
Well, we just have to re-watch our own episodes.
Yeah, good luck with that.
cringe.
Cringe.
It's not that much.
More than 50 hours of content. Good luck with that.
It's gonna be fun.
But we're on a boat, motherfucker. Oh no, it's a sun. But yeah.
So, it's getting. It was morning. You were having fun. You looked at the map and confused everyone.
Again, last night at dinner, I would recast water breathing.
Yeah,
And
you
if
did last night.
Kaylin wasn't there, he wouldn't get it.
He was not there.
How close to him?
I have to
There.
see it.
Oh.
Did I ever find myself a better job?
What would be interesting to Hicks, do you think?
I don't know. Something that works out the body a little, maybe?
You see people are stringing ropes and tying them, and that seems to be the hardest, heaviest job around.
I mean, scrubbing the deck.
Should I really
So
be
pretty
tying knots? I don't know.
Do you have the skill?
much. With one hand? I think
Can you
that's-
use your feet?
Hey, he's good at sleight of hand.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, you could probably use your mouth.
Oh.
You can give me a sleight of hand check to see how well you tighten the rope. If you attempt to do it.
We are going to die.
Yes.
Oh, den så horribly. Lätt of hand. 10.
You successfully tie a rope. But it's very hard and
I'll
very
show it
heavy.
to the seaman. And I said,
Someone comes over. Wow, have you been on a boat before?
no, never.
You learn fast.
You need help with this instead?
Sure, we have a lot of rope tying to do.
Cool.
We're moving this over there, and we're turning the sails a little bit left to this side, and
I just follow
starboard.
your lead.
Thank you.
I'm
And then
helping.
someone else sort of lowers their head and starts washing.
On the ship, are there like what is it called? You know, not the mast, but you know, the thing in the front that sticks out. You know?
A figurehead?
Yeah, figurehead. Is there a figurehead?
No.
But is there like a long
Just
pole?
just a long
Are there rope on it?
A mast, probably.
spine of the ship goes up in front and out for like 2 meters.
Are they like tied a rope down?
No.
Do you want to walk the plank?
I want to stand on there, but I don't know if I have good enough balance, so I'm not gonna chance it. fall in the water.
It's very quiet at the moment. There are not really big waves or anything.
Yeah, but still. But I'll stand like in the cross section on the safe ground.
You're standing like all the way in front, yelling, "I'm the king of the world." No? Okay.
No, I'm just imagining the scene from Titanic.
Yeah, that was the point. Yeah.
But I'm all alone.
Oh yeah, that was a quote from that movie. I didn't remember this.
At least it didn't go way over your head, just slightly.
Yeah.
Why do I get the feeling we have to all look out for some icebergs?
Well, I'm on the lookout, so don't worry.
Well, you'll have to see underneath to see it.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
Yeah.
I believe. Anyway, we're not a Titanic review show yet. Maybe we should know.
It's not that cold. I'm guessing.
And it's not
No.
funny either, so...
Yes.
Depends on your definition of funny, I guess.
Yeah.
We did have a DM that just killed the whole village, so making a boat sink isn't that too much out of scope of possibility, I think.
Anyway, the day goes by. Hicks is cleaning and tying ropes and jumping around having fun. Progress is considering for probably an hour if he dares go out onto the thing. That's the best I can say. Kaelin's probably disappearing and coming back and disappearing and coming back.
Oh, I'm just hanging out with my new friend,
Mr. Stephen,
Mr. Steven.
Captain Stephen. To you?
Omar to me.
Ooh,
We're friends.
you're fancy. You're just running around as a cat for the
Yeah.
entire day?
Probably.
Probably amazing.
Or on and off. I think I can be a cat for 3 hours, and I can do that 2 times, and then I have to take a short rest to do it again.
Yeah, so
So-
easily the entire day.
Nearly. And can I see if Fergus like looking out at
Yeah.
the? Can I, when I'm on my first wild shape,
Purr.
can I do it as a cat? Just walk to the edge of the
Yeah.
like.
Give me an acrobatics check with an advantage.
I'll just use my own.
Cats are probably like plus 10 or minus 15. Either one of those.
I'm not sure if I have
Depends
a
on the
cat,
cat.
but I rolled a 13.
13? Yeah, you easily jump up and just walk all the way to the edge.
Oh,
And then
that's
just
just...
sit down and start watching yourself.
Yeah, I turn around, so I'm
Great.
looking at the Fergus, and I.
I'll just flip you the finger and say show off. Show off, and I'll turn around and walk away.
Before he can turn around, I'll jump in the water and turn into a poisonous snake, I think.
Snake in the water.
No, it's a
Snake.
poisonous snake has swim speed.
How
How
fast?
high is the swim?
So I'll,
How fast? Wind speed?
30, but I'm in front of the ship, so I'll just jump off as a cat when he can see me, and when he can't see me anymore, right before I get to the water, I'll change to a poisonous snake and just.
Then I'll rush over to the edge and just Naruk!
And I'll wait until I'm kind of to the end, the back of the boat, where there's probably something that I can hold on to, and I'll change back to myself. And
I'll scream, cat overboard! Cat overboard!
A lot of the crew are just running up to the front. Where?
The
Cat?
cat just
Oh,
fell.
Just a cat, it's fine. I don't care.
The cat is one of the passengers.
Oh, damn. What?
Passenger overboard!
Oh my! Do you see it? And then
No,
everyone
she-
starts looking around, trying to find it. Give me an acrobatics check as you're trying to climb up the back.
I probably wouldn't take too many risks climbing up the back. I would probably just wait until someone found me and give me a rope.
Okay.
But it's
People are
17.
starting to spread out around, and then eventually someone sees someone trying to climb up back and throw
I'll
a ladder
just-
down to you.
I'll just say, "Fold ya!"
And then you see Nara coming up behind and saying, "Cool, yeah."
How did the captain react to this situation?
Didn't really care.
My man.
Well, man.
He was just standing up on where the wheel is. brother, and it's just standing there, smirking.
I'll just shake my head and just laugh a little bit nervously and say crazy tieflings. What the fuck?
I could have made myself invisible, and then that would be really cruel. So
Yeah, it would be. I mean,
it could have been worse.
Could have been Galen.
Yeah.
That's what they said. I'm just translating.
Those were not my words, but okay. It's still true.
So, okay, you've had a fun day on a ship in the middle of the purple ocean. Night comes. Anyone want to do anything more before you head off to bed?
Recast water breathing at dinner time.
Yes, Sunday.
Cool.
Dining with
This
the captain
evening,
once
everyone
more.
had sheep.
Still like having the cats with me and feeding them half my meal and eating half my meal myself.
last meal was sheep.
Still don't know.
Last meal before they become the meal.
Sending to Houston. Again? Or answering him?
Ta-da!
Yes, I got the Warhammer. How did you know? Why does it work? Are they listening? Oops.
Ta-da! To hear from you again. Warhammer. Work for Bloodline. Damage. Wolf. Gem. In Rex Castle. Left an arm.
Oh, fuck.
Be careful.
Trust no one.
Listen again.
Right.
Or just say trust no one.
Yeah.
Interesting. Where did you head at this storm? I repeat it. Where are you now? He said, why did you say this praise? Where did you hear it and where are you heading?
There's something like that. I heard that from him
Trust.
and everybody else.
As far as I can remember, the first time we heard it, like
What's in his letter?
in his letter, and also Severin said it like the first
I
session.
think Severin was first and then
Yeah.
the letter. So technically the letter was first because it was probably written before.
So sending.
Third time's the charm.
It keeps occurring. We're on our way to the buried tomb. Yeah. Did I answer all this question? I don't think I did.
Just thinking.
Do they have to answer back?
No. Actually, not answer anything. No, nothing. Just good luck.
When we're done with the evening meal, when we get to our room, are there like chairs in the room? Just a bed.
No, just beds.
Just beds. Okay. I'll sit on bed and I'll summon Wood Cleaver. Right in front of me, up towards the wall. I'll ask, hey Wood Cleaver, I've actually never gotten your name. You're just called Wood Cleaver?
And then nothing more.
And how old are you?
How old can one be?
Yeah, that is the question. That's why I'm asking. I mean, are you a thing? Are you a spirit?
I am me. Who are you?
Well, you know who I am.
You're very existential today.
Yeah, I am. I'm just trying to figure out stuff.
Well,
You haven't actually been that forthcoming. It's just all kill, slay, and devour, and suddenly you just start spitting out specters.
show loyalty, and I will show some back.
Yeah, but what about all the killing stuff? Why don't you have any, like, not guidelines to what you kill, but
Guidelines.
I mean, you see, you can understand as well as me that we can't just kill everybody. If there's just you and me left, there's nobody left to kill.
Wouldn't that be good?
Well, it would be quiet, but I enjoy company of people.
Some people can be useful for a while.
For a while. So you've not had many friends, do you?
I have you, and I've had some before you.
Yeah, who
But
were
none of
those
them-
exactly?
None of them were worthy.
What happened to them?
They perished as they could not prove worthiness. And now it's your turn.
Well, shit.
Your companions, are they still useful?
Yeah, they are. Very useful.
When they're not, we'll know what to do.
Well, I
And then
don't
you feel
think
it just grow quiet inside you.
I'll still continue my
Yeah.
sentence. Just, well, I think they will be useful for as long as we know them. And still listen a little bit, no answer, and I'll just switch them away.
Yeah.
And go to sleep.
The rest of you go to sleep,
Yeah. If the cats
unless
are
you're
not
not late to talk to,
interesting, yeah.
or a hammer.
I'll keep the cats with me if I can in the bedroom. All three of them. As long as they want to, of course.
Actually, Tara, you did good. You smashed. Not as well as I hoped, but you smashed. You listened to me.
But next
Thank
time, I'll tell her to smash. This guy.
As long as you don't wait too long, I'm good with that. As long as we smash, we need to smash. But
I heard you like to smash wolves.
yeah, I like wolves.
We're going after the biggest wolf.
Ooh, I've seen a big wolf once. It was super large.
It might be the same wolf.
Maybe. It was very long ago, though. It's probably not alive anymore, like my master.
Who was your master back then?
I don't remember. We smashed.
Mm.
We smashed wolf. Many wolf. But not big wolf. Big wolf get away.
One is not getting away this time.
Yes. When we smash wolf.
When we see him. When
Next
we
wolf
find
we
them.
see.
Hmm?
Next wolf we see.
Now we're smashing the wolf.
Okay. Oh. I remember. I remember my name.
Cool! What is your name?
It's Kimanto
See.
with a K.
See?
Kimanto!
Kimanto.
Kimanto.
I think you smashing goblin bring memory.
Mm. So we gotta.
Are you rewarding bad behavior?
So we gotta find this big wolf then. Hmm?
Smash wolf. Maybe remember master.
I've heard that I might be related to this guy.
You know master.
No,
You master.
but I might be the descendant of the master.
Cool. You feel like master.
Kimanto. Were your parents samurai swords or?
Kimanto!
Kimanto!
Sounds Japanese. But then,
Say hello to the mighty hammer, Kimanto!
yeah, but then if his parents were samurai swords, how did he end up being a hammer?
So leave now. Smash wolf.
What about?
Oh. Smash cat.
Remember what I said? This guy
You smash. You
tells
smash.
where to smash it. Well, it was cool talking to you.
Smash.
Smash. Sleep.
Everyone goes to sleep except for Kalen. He waits for 5 minutes and then goes to sleep because he has to be just that much better than everyone else.
Wakes up before everyone else.
So probably just
Yeah.
senses all being awake and then sleep.
And
He's
he-
probably
No, he's looking at
invisible
you, yeah.
in our rooms.
I'm the oldest one, so I can stay up late.
Yeah, you're 120 years.
5 minutes, yeah!
Is this the last day on the seats?
Last night at least.
Yeah.
Let the fuckery begin.
Night goes by. Kalen wakes up before everyone else. You want to do anything for 4 hours?
Actually, I wanted to sleep for 7 hours because I need my beauty sleep.
Oh my.
Oh yeah.
After 7 hours you wake up.
Yeah.
And 45 minutes later the rest wake up.
Have a run around, gather everyone, team meeting. Now!
Oh,
No.
can we take it at breakfast, please?
No, we need.
Oh.
What's going on?
We are in so much shit.
Oh, why? What?
They got the gem.
They do?
And
You should figure out where it was.
you remember the statue with the left arm? You know,
Yes.
I told you the story about how he actually just had the left arm, and that's weird how they just, on a coincidental, they took his arm like that. The gem was in the arm. Boom.
Well, then we have even
So they have
less
it.
time.
Why did they ask about it though?
Huh?
Why did they keep asking about it?
That was before.
Was it? They weren't targeted by the people they...
Yeah.
Did they ask about the gem?
Rick and
They said so.
They never asked me about it, like in the interrogation.
Or maybe it was just the sword and the...
I'll have the other gems.
I don't remember. But
Sword and chalice.
Wait. Okay. When did we notice this jumbo missing a mom?
After the kidnapping.
Yeah. But did any of us see when the arm?
Oh, that was in another
You
room.
just noticed when you walked
And
through the
it
room
was
after.
missing.
Yeah. Was my 100% sure it was them, but
What?
it's very
Hell of a
most
coincidence.
likely. Yeah.
Starting so self-assured.
Also,
Boom!
where are you getting these wild theories from? Is like the salty air getting to your head, or
No, I was speaking with Syndicate.
it's in the?
He said it was in. He left it in the arm. No.
Jim was in the left.
You see, Kaelin.
At the left arm.
There's a thing called magic.
Yeah.
And
She can do it.
yeah, how's the moon thing going?
Oh.
You've been calculating?
Yeah, I've been calculating.
Whilst everyone is here, including Kayla this time, I'll cast water breathing on everyone. And if we're still talking after 10 minutes, I'll also cast walk on water.
Give me a nature check.
Probably.
We will see how good your calculations are.
That's a 10. Not so bad.
You've noticed that you're most likely getting closer to a total lunar eclipse, but you're not quite sure how long it might be.
Yeah. It's getting closer. Not as soon as I thought maybe earlier on that it was gonna happen right away, but soonish,
Soonish.
I think.
Tomorrow.
Sea folk knows the fucking stars and stuff. They follow the stars and moons when
Yes,
they
let's find
when they
the
travel.
navigator.
Navigating. They have to have a navigator on board, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
And we should really wait. What did they need for us?
That would
Was it only the gemstone? they
Probably
needed to resurrect?
be
Let's
Jeffrey.
pay more attention to the stars and not so much the. Well, no, I don't know.
But Jeffrey
I
was
will
also
think.
showing us around, so he's more like the quartermaster.
Maybe he's got both roles, both a navigator and.
There's more than 50 people on Skoda. I think they can afford both the quartermaster and the navigator.
Well, you never know.
Okay, we really need to get these other stuffs though. But they only need the gemstone to resurrect, right? We don't. I'm not sure about the chalice.
I don't remember.
What the
Yeah, the
chalice
chalice
does.
was just powerful.
I mean, it seems like the
Oh
chalice.
yeah, he was thinking on the chalice, and yeah, that was to defeat.
Yeah.
I think.
So it's probably just relics of power to.
Fuel some magic or something?
Yeah, and maybe they want them to not be opposed.
Mm. They might also use it to fuel the magic to resurrect.
Yeah, I remember back in Walton when we encountered them, they talked about powerful ley lines and stuff. So they might be able to use powerful artifacts to use that kind of magic to resurrect.
Didn't you say, Lynn, that your family got some kind of power from the chalice?
We get our power from the chalice, yes.
So that, if that's something someone else can use as well, it sounds useful at least, maybe in some sort of summoning. Sure, I'm guessing.
They probably want to keep us from using it at least.
But
To
do you
defeat
know,
them.
is it just your family that uses the chalice? Because how do we know if it affects others differently or not?
It was found in a ruin on the island my family's farm is on centuries ago. And it's been fueling our magic ever since. That's how we became sorcerers.
Yeah, but that's just your family, right?
Yes. So it's been in only our property for hundreds of years.
By the way, I've been meaning to ask, is it like your family that is making all these storms that we keep hearing about?
Maybe.
Do you know anything about this? Is it Would it be dangerous for us?
Are you guys robbing ships?
Not robbing. Really, they are coming close to our property. They shouldn't be there. It's ours.
Wait a
The
minute.
whole city yours.
No, our island, and they are coming close to our island. It's our right to keep these trespassers away.
By killing us?
If these ships crash and they have something we can use, well, then that's maybe something we do. Maybe.
So you're saying that your family is a bunch of storm pirates?
Not pirates. It's their
so
fault.
cool.
They're coming to our property. It's our land.
What if they're just sailing past? How do you know?
Sorcerer Texans.
They're coming close to our land. They have nothing to do close to our land. It's ours.
So how did you get from the island if you didn't sail away?
I sailed away, but it's my right. It's our land.
Do they... I mean, have you any, like, papers on that this area is yours and everyone that gets within a certain range, they just gets blown to pieces?
Who needs papers? It's our land. It's our right, our birthright.
Yeah, but how...
It's been in my family for
You
generations.
know what, Relgalin,
It's
this isn't
ours.
helping. This isn't helping. You can't just go blasting random trespassers when they're not even knowing if they're trespassing. Do they even know about your island?
Are you there?
I mean,
They
they
shouldn't
probably
be
know
close to
about the
our
island,
island.
but do they know that you live there? And if they knew, they probably never would have gotten so close.
They know that the area is treacherous, and still they go there. They have the warning.
Is it some kind of faster route to go closer if they travel past? Do you know?
Might be faster to go past, but they know to stay away. That's why the ships won't go past the island.
Except the ones who do, which you loot.
Only if they happen to crash close to our island.
Well, I see where you get the treasure hunt from now, at least.
And you guys are calling me a maniac. Are you hearing this?
You know what, Caleb? Yeah, no, you know what? We're all just a bunch of weirdos traveling together, so yeah. Maybe we're a little bit of maniacs, all of us, but... What?
It does seem kind of unfair. I do have to agree with on this.
Don't trespass, that's all.
Do you have like a sign?
Sign. The sign is the power around my island. They shouldn't come there.
Are there like always storms there?
Yes, you've heard what the captains are saying.
Yeah.
They said they started.
Wait, so your island is close to Baldiar?
Yes.
It's been getting worse the past
Oh.
years.
Well, it's all making sense now. So...
There are more ships coming by. The storms aren't getting wilder because
Wait a minute.
the weather is because there are more ships coming by.
You know we're going into this storm, right?
I know.
What is your mother's name?
Alma?
Alma? Can you cast sending to her and maybe try to make it douse it down so the travel can get a little bit easier with a regards from her? No?
Maybe does she look like you?
She is similar to me, yes.
Can't you just...
Write it in the clouds?
Hard to
I
see.
can
or
actually
what?
do that.
You can?
Yeah. Tomorrow. We're having this conversation at the morning. Yeah.
Have you not played this, mother?
But this is our last day on.
Yeah,
Nice.
no, it was 3 to 4 days.
Mhm.
So
So it's too late. But yes. Yeah, I can write in the skies if I want.
Like
That's right.
message. Let's see.
you know your family probably is gonna get us killed, right?
We'll see. But we will tell the captain to go as far away from the island as he can.
The
I
captain
think-
knows what he's doing. He's been
Yes.
to Baldiar a
And
couple of
I
times.
will help guide the winds in the right direction.
Just to be sure, like check in with me every hour, so at least we can able to not submerge, drown.
So,
We have water breathing?
Both?
Yeah, water breathing is 24 hours.
Yes.
Walking is only an hour. So. But why do
How
we
do we
need
drown
water
if
walking
we
if we
have
can't
water
drown?
breathing?
Yeah.
How do I drown if we have water breathing?
Well,
We
if you
won't
sink
drown.
to the bottom.
See.
No,
If you can
and
swim.
stay there for 24 hours and then we drown. I
we can
see.
just swim and live underwater for a day. It's no problem.
It's usually practical to not be submerged in
It is.
water. Out in the ocean. Amazing. And Norg is not very comfortable swimming in the
Well,
ocean.
let's find a navigator. Right?
Yes.
Stay on task.
Stay on desk.
Yeah, I'm shaking my head after this conversation and I'm going to get breakfast because
Conversation.
conversation. Fuck. Conversation. And I'll go get breakfast.
It's
It's
sheep
like-
again.
So like a common area where everybody goes and eat.
Yeah, it's the. What's the
Mess hall.
mess hall? Yeah.
Mess hall in a boat.
Do I know
Yeah,
who's
it's-
the navigator on this
That's the
ship?
name for it.
Is it?
You're not
Really?
sure.
I'll ask him.
Mess hall.
You see Jeffrey pretty quickly down there. Hey Tara,
Hi, Jeffrey.
can I do you something?
Looking for the navigator?
Okay, Kevin,
Okay. Yes.
you can probably hear what you need him for.
No, I just have some questions about the moon and stuff. You should know stuff.
I ask him about the moon all the time. I like to go find him.
Great.
And he runs off.
See, I knew it wasn't Jesse.
Jesse
Was it
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
Now we're all starting.
with a G.
Like the Game of Thrones,
Just-
Jeffrey.
Joffrey.
And he's so likable.
So is the guy in Game of Thrones, isn't he?
Yeah,
Golden hair.
Most likable in all the series. Best guy.
Loved
Best
it,
man.
especially when he choked. Anyway,
Anyway.
spoilers.
I think that's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think by now everybody knows.
Shortly after, a full-blood elf comes over, about a head taller than Kaelin.
I mean, there are different elves. There are like high elves,
And tall.
taller elves, wood elves.
Tara, right?
Yeah,
What can I help you with?
my friend he loves moons. He loves the moons
Yeah,
so
lately
much.
I've been,
Winds are pretty awesome,
yeah.
to be honest. Yeah.
There's something happening with the moon.
Yes, there are multiple.
It's closing
It's
in.
growing bigger.
And it's,
No, wait, what?
it's closing in on the on this. It's gonna happen,
Yes.
but we're wondering like when. Could you maybe you should know the stars and stuff? So I was thinking,
Are you talking about the lunar eclipse?
yes.
Yes, okay, cool.
Do you know about it?
Yes.
Do you have some time schedule
Mm.
of when it's gonna happen? We really don't wanna miss that show, you know.
I'm not sure. I've only seen it once before. I think it might be close, maybe a few weeks.
Mm.
Around 2 weeks, I believe. Looks correct. But it only happens very rarely. Only seen it once before.
Gonna be cool seeing it
Yes. It's been 6 years since the last time I saw it.
Can you look straight at it?
If you want to. I usually do, all the time.
all the time. But rarely, yeah.
The moon, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the eclipse.
I did look at it back then, yes.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It turned
Something like-
proper dark green. That was cool.
Didn't hurt your eyes or nothing.
No.
Okay. Couple of weeks.
Thank you so much.
No problem. It's always best to see it from the ocean, I promise you. I've only seen it from the ocean though, so I'm not sure.
I've never seen it, so.
The moon?
The eclipse.
Oh, yes, the eclipse, yes. It's cool.
Hi. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm off eating breakfast, so I'm not hearing this.
I want to sit down with this guy and ask him how he can figure out the 2 weeks thingy. Because I was really struggling pinning down how to calculate the things.
He tries to go through the math with you. Roll an intelligence check, just straight up.
More math.
Eight.
Math game.
8.
He does teach you a thing or two about the paths of the moon and the stars and the sun.
Yeah.
And how to calculate sort of these things, but it's very vague and inaccurate.
I feel like I'm learning.
Yeah. Seems pretty awesome. Cool. Moon.
I'll give him my tarot card of the moon. But thanks for helping.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Suddenly the moon
And he
comes
just sits
crashing
there.
down.
Okay, I'll leave.
We're getting close to shore, or
Hey, can we see land now, or?
Nope.
Nope. Still wide open ocean.
Yep.
Do we see the storms now? Or?
Nope.
Nope.
Nothing. As quiet as it's been for the last 2 days.
So yeah.
How far from the island are we?
You don't know?
So we can't see them
No.
yet.
Nothing.
Well, as this is our 3rd day on the boat, Chris will start to get a little bored, so I'll go in the front where she jumped off, and I'll start firing off Eldritch Blast in the ocean.
You'll, as you're doing this, you feel like a finger poking you in the back.
Hello?
Hello,
Were you?
Jeffrey.
Oh, hey.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Can you teach me?
Yeah, okay, first you have to take your palm out like this, right? And you have to summon stuff like this. Oh, you can't do much magic, can you? Okay, let me see you do it. I'll just flick my hand so the prestidigitation gets in the with the flame, so it looks like he's holding it.
I can do magic.
Yeah, throw it in the ocean. And it floats.
Yeah, that's cool.
Congratulations.
Do you want to come up with me and see land?
Yeah.
Should be in about an hour. We can see it from the distance.
Oh, yeah, I'll be with you.
Cool.
Follow you up. You climb faster than me, so you go first.
Okay.
I'm too heavy for this. Do we see land?
No. A little time goes by and then... Ooh, land. Do you want to yell land?
Yeah, yeah. Land ahoy! Ahoy!
What is this?
Yeah, I don't know. It just felt natural.
Cool. I'm
Yeah.
going to start using it.
You're a natural sailor.
I'm going to definitely use that in the future.
Yeah, it sounds cool, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It just was on the tip of my tongue. and I
I'll
was-
tell everyone. Maybe it's going to become a thing.
Yeah. Can I borrow a telescope? Can I see? I'm not gonna lose it. Where do I see land? What do I see?
Straight ahead. You see a lot of scattered islands. And that's about it. There's nothing much to see at this distance.
Yeah.
And
Is that Baldur?
they start becoming bigger and bigger. No, there's the islands before Baldur. There are a lot of scattered islands.
Oh, are there many people been on those?
I don't know. We usually just go past. Usually don't see them.
Yeah.
They're usually covered by a storm.
Covered by a storm, you say?
That's the big storm we were talking about. It's usually
Is
around-
that here?
Yeah, soon.
Shit.
But I don't see it, so maybe this is a good day.
Yeah, I don't know.
We usually see it by now. I'm gonna go talk to the captain.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down and talk to one of our party members.
Cool. Then you guys climb down and he runs up to the captain, where you probably are.
No, I'm out on deck and I'll ask, can you see the port?
No, I cannot see the port. It was just scattered islands, but we're getting close.
Okay, so let me know if you once we.
But we're getting close to the dangerous island, you know?
I just want to know when it's like when we're getting off this boat.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
when we're
but
going to port.
I think you should probably tie yourself up if we're getting this fast.
I'm good.
Grab something to hold at least.
The deck
Yell
hand-
if you see storms.
the
And I'll,
deckhand walking by just laughs to himself.
I'll just look weird at him and I'll just say, yell if you see storms and I'll go find Rollespill.
But I'm not up there, I'm just shouting.
Yeah,
So he
but
was
I
down.
climbed down.
He came down.
So when I find you, I'll say, I think we're getting close to your island now.
Oh,
But
Can I
why
see
is it quiet
No,
here?
not yet. Not from the bottom.
Why is it quiet here? There's no storms. Is that a good or a bad sign?
well, we do normally have pauses where we don't cast any storms around here, but of course, I'm worried if nothing happens if the ship gets close.
Parents aren't home. No storms.
But if they are after your artifacts,
Yes.
and if there are no storms at all, maybe we should check out the island first. Shit. Well, I'll go talk to the captain, or should you go talk to the captain?
Or can we use one of the lifeboats?
Go talk to the captain and ask if we can use the lifeboat.
I go over and I talk to the captain.
Yep, he's deep in conversation with Jeffrey.
Hi.
Could you slow down the winds a little bit?
Oh,
Going into between the islands, it's gonna be dangerous.
sorry, it's just the direction I'm steering, not the.
Good.
actual
We are
speed.
lucky that there's no storm today, so it seems to be a quiet ride in.
I'm wondering if it would be possible for us to borrow one of your lifeboats so that we can go close to one of the regions around these islands. My family lives there.
Interesting. If the storms keep quiet, we can drop you off.
Yeah, great.
Do you want us to wait for you, or
No, you can continue to about it.
sounds good to me?
Okay, thank you.
No problem. How many people? Everyone?
All 6 of us
Okay,
here.
you'll probably need both lifeboats then.
Okay.
They're very small.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Thanks.
Lifeboats?
Don't have lifeboats.
Taking all the lifeboats all over.
Well, ships usually have at least a small rowboat so
Yeah,
they can
they
travel
do.
between land and...
They just don't really call them lifeboats.
No.
They call them dinghies.
Yes, that's the word.
Look at the pirate.
Eventually, you
And,
start seeing these small islands appear in the horizon.
When do you plan on telling Kaelin about your plan on?
Going out on the thingy.
Yeah, switching boats.
I'm telling you guys now. Well, I gather the ones of you that I can see. I guess some of you might be invisible.
No. Why does everybody think I'm invisible?
My precious.
So I fixed it with the captain so that we can borrow 2 of his dinghies to get to my island.
What is a dinghy?
That's one of these little boats they use in case the ship is sinking. They can go into the dinghy so they won't die. We can use those to get to the island.
But you don't know that we're actually considering going to the island. So
Yeah.
Where are we going to the island?
Because there might be something going on there since there are no storms. Either maybe someone already stole the relic, or maybe something's wrong with my family. I think we should check it out.
You're not stepping foot into this tiny nutshell.
Oh yeah, I remember now. You want to be tied to the mast. You can stay here.
Yeah, there's no mast on that tiny thing.
Yeah, you can stay here tied to the mast. It's fine.
We
Well,
can.
I can make it so that you can just run behind the boat. You won't have to be in it.
Run behind the boat.
It's always being like in the boat. It's just like solid ground.
Solid ground.
Some people find alcohol to be helpful when they're like nervous about things.
Yeah, I don't do it. I only drink it to celebrate.
Then you can get some alcohol when you get into the boat to celebrate that you
Made it.
made it into the dinghy.
Yeah, but I'm not stepping foot in it. So
Well,
there's
you
nothing
can
to
either
celebrate
choose
about.
to get tied up and thrown in the boat and come with us, or you'll come with us willingly because we're going if there's trouble.
Can't we just go with the big boat?
Go with the ship?
Could they
With
drop
the
us
ship.
off?
I don't think
Could
we
they-
want to come that close to the island in the ship, because well, someone on the island might not like it.
Yeah, well, can't you do anything about it? I heard you were the
I can change.
owner of this land.
I can't send a message in the same way that Tara can. So that's the problem. But if they see just two little boats coming, they will use their binoculars to see who's in it, and they will see I'm there. And I'll send them a thunderclap so they can hear that it's me coming.
But then just make yourself visible on the ship.
Hmm?
And then just make yourself visible on the ship, and then if they look up on the ship, then okay.
They're gonna see a huge ship and they're gonna think, oh fuck, they're coming to my island. I'm gonna kill you.
If the cult had gotten to your family and gotten to the lake, would that impact your magic?
Probably not mine, no. Because it is inside us now after we've been influenced by it for so many years. But it aids us in our magic. If we have it, we get stronger.
Okay, so we wouldn't like know that someone had done something to your family by how your magic is.
No.
Well, if we're already this close, we should check it. I mean, how long is it to row into land?
We could have the boat wait though, and Kaelin could stay if he absolutely wanted to.
I don't trust him to stay. He'll just make the ship move to bother her because
Because he's a coward.
Were you talking about the captain?
no, we're talking about you.
Not a coward.
At this point, you hear Steven yell, "Everyone to your stations. We're approaching the islands. Miss Rogalin,
Yes.
could you come up here a little bit?
Sure. Hello.
That was fast. 2 seconds. We don't see any storms, so everyone be on your guard. I've never gone through here without a storm before, so it's probably going to be a walk in the park. Rogalin, you said you had your family was on an island here.
Yes.
Which one?
Well, we,
And as you see the islands coming very close, you see a lot of like cliffs, large cliffs. And you see like a lot of broken ships around around every cliff. Some of them seem to have had several ships hit the same place. Just broken completely.
how far are we from my island
You're
now?
very close. It's one of the closest islands. It's a pretty large one.
I'm saying,
And
please
it's over on the left.
just drop us off here, please.
Just here. You don't want
Yes.
us to get close to your island, so you don't have to row for a long time.
Shouldn't get too close. I think
Seems
do
fine now.
this.
You should get as close as possible.
He's a coward. I don't think we listen to him.
Wait, you're the coward. You're not daring to go closer because you're scared of the storms.
It's no problem for us with the way the weather is now. It's
Couldn't one of you,
No problem.
magic users use some kind of light? Someone used the light sometime?
Light? Oh, we just
Maybe not.
I can
I
make
have
a
my
little
thunder.
flame, but we're on a wooden boat, so no, probably not.
I have
that
my
good
thunderclap to send a sound signal to them, but I need to be within
Close
100 feet.
Okay, we could get you within 100 feet of the island if you want.
Okay.
Which one is it?
This one.
This one? Okay, going towards that one.
Mm.
And he's just not batting an eye at all the broken ships
He
around
doesn't
there,
seem to
just-
care at all, even though his brother is probably in one of them.
Well, if we're leaving the ship, there's something I need to take care of before we go.
They go up to half sail, start slowing down towards the island.
I want to
Be fast.
slip on my ring, go to the captain's quarter.
Yep.
Uh,
No one seems to notice.
I want to search for the 1,000 gold we paid him.
Give me an investigation check. With advantage, considering you've spent a lot of time here and checked it out before.
18.
Okay. You go in, you noticed a particular spot in his room where there's a small chest. You approach it, but it's locked. It's like a small strongbox type chest.
Take out my thieves tools.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Is sleight of hand or is it just, thieves tools thing? Oh wait, why am I rolling 2 dice? Should have rolled 2 dice.
We do have inspiration.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, use it.
Come on, please don't fail. Oh, that's good.
I feel like you've never actually used inspiration in a pivotal moment.
Oh, but I'm using it.
It's always the fun moments.
21.
21. You struggle a little bit. The pick is almost about to crack, and then you calm down, take a breather, click. It opens up, and you see a lot of gold just lying inside there, and a lot of small gemstones.
Well,
I know we're not getting a ride back.
I'll take our 1,000 gold and a couple of gemstones, but I leave something behind. And I drop also a note inside, and the note says, your spices are safe with me.
Nice.
your spices are safe.
You pick up about 500 gold's worth of different types of gems, and the 1,000 gold, and leave the note inside as you close it and lock it back up again.
Yep.
Exit. At this point, the captain should be about 100 feet now,
Yeah, I
as you're
cast.
very close to the cliff edge.
I say to the guys, okay, stand back. And I cast Thunderclap right next to me. And
Everyone
This
just
has-
gets...
this has been the sign for my family when we've been taking the boat back and forth.
As you say this, no one hears that you say it. Everyone's just, what? What?
No, nothing.
Keeps going for a while.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're ready.
Jump in one of the boats.
Yes.
Ready
You
to-
lower them down.
I cuddle the cats and say goodbye.
It's just 20 feet of water until you
Oh, I
reach
forgot
the
to eat the cats.
shore.
Can I hear you
I
say?
was only 20 now.
Because at this point,
I
Narek
thought
still
it was
doesn't know the
100.
fate of the cats.
From the island proper. But
Ah,
there's
okay.
Long Beach. And
Yeah, okay. Okay, so we row to the island and yeah. Are you joining us?
Join us.
No?
you're very close to land, and yeah.
But it's not a jumping distance, is it?
We can jump and swim.
We can jump and walk.
Yeah, that's right. We have the water walking. We might not even
Yeah,
have
with
needed
water
the
walking and breathing.
So,
Super safe.
Super safe.
what if we tie together a couple of ropes, tie one end at the top of the mast.
Can you just get
And then you take the rope to land. And I'll
No.
Let's go.
Kale, get a grip. It's
Either you come or you don't. I'm going. Stay here if you want to. Go to Baldiar with the captain if you're such a coward.
The captain's just standing behind you saying, get off my boat.
Alright. Can you do the magic on me before we go?
It's already done, but I'll just go to Kalen, and I press my thumb to his like between his eyes, and I say, "Walk on water." You ready?
super weird.
Something tells me I shouldn't trust you. So.
I just step out of the small dinghy, or climb out and jump in the water, or on the water.
Why are we taking these boats?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
didn't remember that.
I put 20 feet. We can just
Yeah, you
jump
could all just walk over.
or whatever.
I didn't remember that we had the one. And none of you did.
Captain, it was nice meeting you. I hope you have a safe journey to Baldiar. Kalen out, and I put on my ring.
Okay, we're walking then.
He doesn't even reply, he just stands there and smiles.
I've already left. I'm going to the island.
I so want to drop the water walk, but I'm not gonna.
As I walked on the dinghy, I just turn and just nod my farewells.
Yeah, so we just took 2 boats and then everybody just walked.
Yeah, basically. Narek gets out of the boat and everyone
Yeah, but
else
they can
just
just-
starts following.
They can just take them up again if we didn't take off the ropes.
Keep your boat, Captain. I'm sorry.
You guys are hilarious.
I know.
Yeah.
I hope to see you again someday.
I'll set a foot on the water and I run across his head again.
Yeah.
Invisible.
Can we hear his steps?
No, it's solid.
It's more like clack, 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 clack.
Do I see anyone?
Not yet, no. We get up to the beach, there's a large cliff and you can walk up to the island proper. There is a small like forest outcropping. It's just very small, like probably like 50 trees. And to the left of this you see a large wooden fence. This seems to encompass some sort of field with sheep walking around. As you all move up towards the fence, you know exactly where you are. This is your family farm.
I run towards the door.
You run along the fence up towards a pretty large farmhouse that is on top of the hill. And you see this large farmhouse. It's very traditional, very nice. But to the left you see like a large stone tower. And you all immediately notice that the roof on this tower is missing. That the door has been blown out. And there's a lot of damage around the tower. The house seems fine.
I try to open the door to the house and go in.
It opens,
Mother! Mother!
eerily quiet.
I run around inside the top of the house and then I run to the basement.
And you find nothing.
Nothing in the basement.
Nothing. It's been emptied completely.
Everything is gone.
Can we see?
My God, they have the relic.
Yeah, I'm just in the door by now because I didn't run up behind you. I just walked calmly.
I run back up. They have the relic. The relic is gone.
Do you
My family is
do you
gone
have the relic in the house?
in the basement.
That's not super safe.
It's quite safe if there are mages in this house and if the magic traps are activated. But apparently they've gone past them.
Looking around outside, can I see
Can you see
any
if the-
signs of movement or struggle or anything
Has been
beyond like
activated?
normal wear?
Can you see if the traps has been activated?
Yeah, I'll join her as soon as I hear the words from her.
Yeah.
From her, they heard her. So I'll assist you.
You go around the house outside.
22.
You do eventually see that there's some black spot quite far over on the other side of the island. Black spot.
On the
You
other
don't see the
side.
details yet, but if you approach it, you can see more.
I'll run
Yep.
towards it.
You run towards it, you
I
follow.
follow.
The rest of you probably also follow.
Yeah.
I see something.
As you get closer, you do see like a large ring that is completely black. As you get closer, you see that inside the ring there's a completely like normal spot that is not untouched by this blackness. As you get even closer, you see inside this blackness there's like bodies lying on the ground. You notice that it's sort of like an ash type thing.
How many bodies?
There are 7.
Do I recognize any of them?
You can quickly notice that they're all completely burned out and unrecognizable.
Haha, you're president.
You see like it, and you see in the middle there is some sort of object.
What in?
In the middle of this ring,
Yeah.
where it's untouched, there's some sort of object. You see the bodies seem to have been blown outwards.
Okay, I go and check out what the object is.
I stand back
You
at
step
this end
into
of the circle.
ash, and you see that it gets disturbed, and you see the ground underneath is completely burnt out. You go through it, and you quickly see that this is the chalice.
Okay, I pick it up. Does it still have its magical powers? I look into it.
Yeah, it seems to still have everything.
Okay. This is the relic. I found the relic.
Is this your
They are 7. My family is not 7 people. We are only 3. My 2 sisters and my mother live on this island together.
Where are they?
I don't know. I can't identify these burnt remains, but I hope it's not my family. There have been people coming to this island who have been able to break through our defenses. And we have had problems killing them because they've had some magic resistance. But we have been able to get rid of them. Kill them. But now I don't know what happened. Who are these 7? Have they been killed by us or not?
Is this like how you kill people?
We use our magic, lightning, thunder.
It doesn't look familiar.
No.
No.
This wouldn't be caused by a lightning strike, so I don't think this is ours.
That looked like a cost, not the chalice.
Mm.
But where did it fall from?
Does it have to fall to do this?
No, but it seems like a crater, like something huge fell and burnt down everything.
Did you or your family have any place that you could like fall back to or hide? Or is there a place we can look for them?
What's the tower?
Is there like a lighthouse? Because I'm imagining there's a lighthouse there.
Drawing people in.
Sort of like a wizard tower, or like mages. They always live in towers, and they're on the island. So why is it a
I
lighthouse?
don't know the tower. I did not describe this.
Somehow I'm picturing a mage tower disguised as a lighthouse.
Well, we could look at the tower. What's in the tower? Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just completely broken, or
Yeah, it looks like the same that it's always been. It's an old broken tower.
it's the broken ruin, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is the ruin where the chalice was found.
Oh, it was
Originally.
found. Oh.
We found it centuries ago. My family.
The family wouldn't have hidden up here.
Well, it's a ruined tower. There's not really much to hide in.
Yeah, it's very small.
And
Is-
you call this your home? This is where you usually sleep, or?
The house, farmhouse, is where we sleep. It's where we stay. And our basement used to be full of treasure that had been sacrificed to the chalice. And now the treasure is gone, and the chalice was way over there.
Oh.
I don't understand anything.
You said sacrifice to the chalice. Does it consume something?
No,
What
but
does it do?
we serve our chalice.
You start to seem like a little cult to me now, but why are you worrying me so, Rollespill?
Can you communicate with it? Like, does it say that I want treasure, or?
No, not really. I can't explain it. I've never understood it. It's just been that way all my life.
Like a sign of appreciation or something?
We have a connection. We do these things together. Our magic, destroying the ships. I don't know who actually takes the initiative. I don't know if it's us or if it's the chalice or... It's hard to describe. I don't quite understand it.
Can I see it?
No, it's mine.
Please?
No.
I won't do anything to it. I just want to look at it and inspect it. Can I? I'm your friend. I've never taken anything from you.
Okay, but don't give it to him.
Just point in a random direction.
I'm taking
and
hold.
and standing there. Because you don't
I
hear
know
him.
you are standing there.
What exactly does it look like?
It looks like you know. It is a golden chalice with blue gems that are on top around the rim of it. And it looks, despite the gold and gems, it looks relatively humble. Like it's not big, it's just a small chalice. Seems like it could be one of many.
I'll take it up and hold it a little bit up towards the sun. Turn around a little bit. Look inside it. Look a little bit at Rollespill.
Doesn't feel special.
I'll take some water. Pour it in. And I'll take a... yeah. That's one thing. We never have
You
water
probably
with us.
have this water skin.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, okay. So I take a little bit and I just... try to see if something is happening. Nothing?
Oh, as far as you can tell.
Oh, what are you doing? Give it back to
It
me.
just seems like an ordinary chalice to me.
Can't feel the power
Poke
in.
the gents a little bit. And give it back. Well, it was good to drink from.
I'm looking into it and again being fascinated by all the things I've seen.
Is there any signs of how long ago this happened? Here? Like-
Seems relatively
like
fresh, as it hasn't been touched by winds or anything. As you notice, the ash is just light ash, and as soon as she walked through it, it just spread out.
Can I see if I can find 3 tracks somewhere? Like if I can see any sign of a direction that her
Give me a
family may be
survival
in?
check.
You guys have a boat?
We have a boat that we've been using to get back and forth between me and
14.
14. You look around and you see tracks going towards this circle, but that's the only tracks you see. Here do you see more than 7 tracks going towards the circle.
Okay.
7 tracks.
But do they look like female tracks or male tracks? How big are the feet?
Both. No, actually just female.
Can I go up to the circle and detect magic? If I can feel any magic somewhere.
Sure.
Can anyone
Any
help me see if we
random
can figure out which way, if anyone left this place?
I try to look inside the house.
Oh, I'll take 10 minutes because I
Okay.
do it as
I'll try and look if I can see anyone leaving the circle.
Hicks. Yeah, it's me. I'm on your left.
Hi.
12.
What did you do?
Trying to see if anyone left the circle.
What's up?
What exactly are we doing here? Whispering it into his ear.
Well, the chalice, you know, that source of power they are looking for. Well, we got it.
Oh, I mean, what are we doing with this bunch of group here? Like, one of them is talking to a hammer and serving a hammer, the other one is serving the sword, and now we have new members serving some sort of chalice.
I'm the normal one.
Yeah, I never would have thought that way, but you strike me as the most normal right now.
No, well, oh, so are you though. You're not, hello, you're special.
Yeah, well, everybody says so, but I'm
Yeah, I know.
compared to
Good
these
way, I
freaks, I'm pretty normal.
Are you whispering or do we hear this?
No, this is whispering.
Okay.
Just
It might be something with
Stage
that.
whisper.
Maybe magic is, I don't know, starts with our minds, I guess. But they're powerful. Makes them powerful as well. I guess that's why we're with them.
looks like it's only bad magic.
Yeah. Well,
Do I see
maybe not
anything
the rest
in the
though.
house?
2 seconds.
Yeah,
Is
like I
that
said.
bad magic?
Uh,
Evil forest magic?
Oh, Naruk is normal. Otherwise, I would have hung out with her for that long.
Okay.
Is that a compliment?
And a strange definition of normal, but I'll take it.
Well, Tara was normal, I think, before the hammer thingy. Now she keeps looking at me weirdly.
Yeah.
Oh, she keeps looking at me weirdly.
It's
So good.
No, I don't.
It's canon now.
Smash.
That's so
No.
good.
Tara's fine. Tara's cool.
Dude, subconscious feeling.
Kind of like the other two as well.
Yeah, but don't you think they're like at least a little bit possessed?
Yes.
I think we should do something about it.
How?
I don't know, but rather sooner than later because like right now it's 3 against 3. With no rook on our side.
Oh. But you meant help them, not be possessed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Oh. I thought you were gonna kill them for a second there.
All that might work.
Yeah. Maybe I just talk to them. And Fagressa is a real great guy. Everybody loves him. But yeah, he saw that
Yeah, but
thingy with the soul thingy. What the fuck was that?
yeah, and he also keeps like talking in his sleep and
Yeah, is that well though? People do that.
normal people don't.
Just for the fun of it, when I talk in my sleep, it's in a language you don't understand, and it
Well, when
sounds
I
terrible.
hear you talking, so
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, but you're talking.
It sounds very ominous.
Yeah.
It
Like
makes it weirder.
growling kind of sounds.
I think he has like maybe 2 sides to him, yeah, seems like.
But it's good to know that I have you on my good side. Or you seem to agree that we should do something about it, right?
Sure. Just not kill them though. Maybe.
Well, that was you were suggesting
Yeah.
that. Now you're trying to put the words in my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we should keep that in mind. Like, think about it. Maybe once we get off the island, we should maybe look for help.
Yeah. Like a priest or something to drive the demon out of fear. And maybe just
Yeah, not
the
only
chalice
him, all
away
of them.
from
All of them.
Regalit, because she seems very into
Yeah,
the chalice. I think that's the
And the hammer from.
again the hammer from, yeah. We'll see. They're fine now if they don't get too much out of control. I think it's helpful. We need the hammer and we need the chalice to defeat They're a ton of fun.
Yeah, but we need them in the right hands, and right now they're misplaced.
But I think the hammer only works in Tara's hands. I think they're the only hands. And also maybe the chalice as well, I don't know. You think you can wield the hammer?
Of course I can.
Of course,
Okay.
you think so.
Well, we'll keep that an option, I think. Maybe. Yeah, give it a shot. Yeah,
Good talk, good talk.
attack.
Narek, you see nothing leaving the circle. Steps go to it, nothing away from it.
Mm-hmm. But I see more steps leading.
More than 7, but you're not quite sure how many. You go into the house. Everything seems undisturbed. In the kitchen, you see plates with food on them. It's cold, cheap.
Magic traps, or they're all blown away and.
Yep. And the entire basement is completely cleaned out.
Yeah. I try to look for any traces outside the house. Are there any tracks going anywhere?
Give me a survival check.
As this is happening, I'm summoning Void Cleaver by the circle, and I'll ask. You seem very old to me. Do you know anything about golden chalices inlaid with magic and blue gemstones? Have you
No.
heard of something like that?
No,
So, okay.
sounds trivial.
Well,
Why do we care?
artifacts, power. But if you don't know, switch my way.
I bump into Vix. See, he's doing it again.
Yeah, but I'm not hacking out loud.
Oh, okay.
You just like
Yeah. And lips are moving. What?
So did I sense anything magic, by the way? From the detect magic?
Oh, and that was the thing too.
And if not, did I sense what kind of magic the sword was?
You do sense magic from the
Ooh,
surrounding area. You do sense a lot of evocation magic. Very strongly in that exact area.
evocation, yes. That's the thing.
That's the boom stuff.
That's the boom stuff.
Fun stuff.
Yes.
Bad explosions.
19.
19, you see a lot of steps going everywhere. A lot of steps coming towards the house, going out of it. Most of them are along the path down to the docks. And you see 10 steps going towards that ring that you saw.
Okay. So they must most likely have been going within that direction that fell off at some point.
Possibly.
I try to go down towards the docks.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You head down towards the docks. You see a small dock, as you've seen many times before, but no boat.
The boat is gone.
Is
So-
that well the black stuff is? Where's the dock?
It's on the opposite side, sort of like away from everything, just towards the cliffs.
Why
It
don't
doesn't
I go
seem to
this
be
way?
towards anything.
Well, I guess they must have fled in the boat, as the boat is gone.
Is there anyone like you knew, like a neighbor or
We have no neighbors. We own this island. It's ours.
a neighboring island? Like, do you have any idea where we can look them?
No. Do I know anything on the mainland?
None of the other islands have any life on them. There are, as you can see from the map, 2 stretches of land coming out on each side. Those are also not inhabited, except for Baldiar itself. There is no life around this area. And mostly because it hasn't been habitable for some reason.
But what do you want to do?
I don't know. I want to find them, but I don't know where they would go.
Did your mother have like a special item or like a necklace or anything that she always wore or had with her? If she did, I might be able to help tomorrow.
Well, I could go up and see if there is something in the house. Or do you have to find it if it's on her?
And yeah,
Was there? I guess sorcerers can use like this, what's it called?
magical focus.
Yeah.
This app?
The sap?
Oh.
She would have had a magical focus.
Yeah.
She had a bracelet that she always had on her.
So I can describe it to her.
So when are we getting off this island? I thought we were going to Baldivar.
Yeah, I thought so too, but plans change, mister.
And what are those plans that I'm not been informed?
Well, we investigate the elm and then we leave to Baldivar.
I try to focus on the chalice and see if I get any signal from it, any signs, any feelings.
Should probably get out of the harbor. They know the chalice ourselves and not go back.
You just noticed the raw power of the chalice, nothing special, nothing
We should
that
try.
gives you any clues or hints or anything.
And we should probably put this in the haversack so
Hmm?
they can't sense it or whatnot. Like,
In the bag of holding?
yeah.
Then he's not carrying. Who
Well,
has the bag of
I
holding?
have.
Okay.
Well, I don't believe if the chalice caused the explosion somehow. Do you believe putting it in
Might-
there would be a good thing?
I think it's too powerful.
I think it's better that I keep it on me.
I believe so too. Actually.
I don't believe so. Put it in the bag.
No.
Should put it in the bag.
It's her family heirloom. It's hers to decide what to do with it.
I'm not giving it away. It's
Um,
ours.
Yeah, but ew. Like,
You can have the bag of holding though.
I think I can, at least tomorrow, I can find things if I concentrate on it.
Yes.
And maybe other people can do that as well. So if it's in the bag of holding, that doesn't work. But maybe if you keep the bag of holding.
yeah, also, no, she shouldn't keep it. Like, if they're after it, they know it's hers. That's the first place they're looking.
But
Well, if they were here in the first place to get the chalice and left it here,
didn't get it.
I don't think that was on purpose.
I wouldn't believe so.
I think we still need to try.
Do I know of any of our magic that would cause a crater like this?
As far as you know, no.
Would they leave a message for you any? Or nothing?
Well,
But
I
the
already searched
evocation
the
magic
house.
from chalice as well.
Should,
Well,
should we
Not
check
really,
out
not
if
specifically.
They found it.
it's hard to define what the magic of the chalice gives you.
And what of all the dead people? Who are they?
Was there anything in the ruins where you found it, or scripture?
They were just
or,
ash. There was nothing
pictures or
recognizable at all.
Proper burnt up
No
bodies.
equipment, no steel, metal stuff.
No. All ruined, destroyed.
Did I find anything special in the house, like any notes or anything?
Not really, nothing to indicate anything special.
Okay, so it's just old stuff, like normal.
I think you'll have to decide what we should do next. It's your family.
I think it's a good idea that you use your magic and try to find my mother.
I can only do that tomorrow.
Yeah, it's okay.
And
But
it
where?
has its limits.
Hmm?
It has its limits, and I can only find something that's within 1,000 feet.
Oh, okay.
But they're probably not here on the island. It's not that big, is it? Is there any secret places? Do you know?
Not that I know of, and I've lived
Caves.
here all my life.
I really don't want to stay on this island tonight.
Oh, me neither. I mean, we haven't found anything
Thank
else.
you.
Is it? Are any of the like small islands? Are they walking distance?
Closest thing to you at the moment is approximately 15 kilometers away. So it would take you about, let's say,
So,
5-6 hours to get there.
so we wouldn't be in the middle of the ocean, but we would be in the middle of the ocean. And we don't have
But it looks
robots.
We're only walking 2 kilometers.
Aren't there boats and ships down at your harbor?
No, they was
No, they were gone.
They were gone. Well,
We didn't think of this.
Tara, can you send to Steven or Mara that he might pick us up?
They will probably have fun.
Yeah, but they were going into the... Yeah, no.
No, you sent them away. You sent them.
Yeah.
I didn't send him away.
Yes.
Well, they were going into
Yeah.
Baldia, and they have to come back sometime.
Yeah, but we
But
don't
we
have
have
that
to
time.
go there as well, because
Don't
the sword
forget-
is there.
Yeah, and if they
It
have
take
been
about
here.
an hour and a half to get to nearest land.
Okay.
Like mainland, or...
We'll just
I-
have to. like,
You would
have-
get to the topmost of those branches going out.
Oh, so we can get to mainland.
Yeah, okay.
And if you run on the water, you could make it in an hour.
You can definitely make it in an hour with long stay.
Because the walk on water
Is
is
there-
1 hour.
Yeah, but is there? I can. If we burn some spells. If I burn some spells, I can make all of us a bit faster.
Can't you just fly us over?
I could technically. I think I could technically cast Water Walk, change into a giant elk, or cast Lost Rider, and then turn into a giant elk and just run some of us over.
Take
Or
me,
use some
take
spell.
me. So I'm seriously, I would never make it in 1 hour.
Should have
So-
kept the boats then.
Yes.
Damn it. Yeah, we can walk on water. There's no problem. We'll just leave the boats.
I did not say to leave the boats. I just wanted to demonstrate to Caleb that it was safe.
Yeah.
But no, this. But yeah, I can. If at least some of you start walking, and I can, like, ferry a couple of you over at a time, maybe, and try and come back and do
How
it
fast do
again.
you run as the elk?
60 feet, and with, I think, and with Long Strider, it would be 70 feet.
Yeah, so without dash and stuff like that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's 70 feet, and for the
Yeah.
while that I can.
Also, who has the stupid chalice right now?
I'm keeping it. You're not getting it, you're asshole.
How do you know of the power of the chalice?
Yeah, 60 feet.
It's very much linked to Storm Sorcery.
To be honest, I didn't
And I-
feel anything from it. Just seemed like an ordinary chalice to
You
me.
don't see this? I point into it.
What do you see in there?
This vortex,
Vortex?
this storm center. You don't see it?
No.
I look over her shoulder. I see it. No.
You don't hear it either? Here, the wind. You hear it?
No, nothing.
How
No.
close to the shore are we?
It kind of
Which
seems
shore?
like it.
You haven't started going yet.
I don't know if that's.
Well, like, we're on the island,
It
right?
fuses its
Are
power
we in the
from
middle of the
that
island, or are we
sails,
like...
maybe?
Because we were at the
You're-
docks.
I'm guessing
You're down
we
by
would
the
be-
docks at this
yeah.
point, yeah. Looking for the boat.
Can I take a
I
look as
wouldn't
well?
say that's sailors because I can still feel all its magic.
Yes, but maybe the magic, I don't know, takes the souls and fuels it. Because why do you keep killing all these spots?
Because they come onto our land. It's our land.
Or because it tells you to do it.
But it's the chalice's land as well. The chalice was resting on our land.
Yes. Yes.
What are you seeing inside the chalice? Can I look?
No.
She said it was supposed to be a vortex.
Kind of seems like it makes you kill people and gives you magic in return and makes you not see that killing people is But that's just my opinion. I guess you can think about it.
That's
Just-
absurd.
Just think
I
about it.
think you're talking nonsense.
Yeah.
I believe she has proved to us that she has a conscience. I mean, have you already forgotten about the dragon egg?
Well, yes, it's just she is normal except for the thing that
My
the
sense
chalice
of
wants her
protection.
to do.
I want to protect our land.
Yeah, because that's so.
It's
Can
our
I-
land. This land is our right to keep.
Have you ever taken the chalice away from the island?
No.
Have you thought about destroying the chalice?
No. Of course
Well,
not.
I don't want to stay close to the water, so you know where you'll find me. And I'll put on the ring. But I want to sneak close to Raglan and try and snatch the chalice.
Give me a stealth check.
Dum 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 dum. We're gonna have a little inbred war, civil war.
26.
Yep, you easily sneak over to her. Give me a sleight of hand check.
But isn't Dragon like having it
Okay,
in front
this
of
is
her
gonna
in
be
her
bad.
hand?
This is gonna be bad.
I'm obsessed.
And that's, I think it's the same.
Well,
25?
You realize she's holding it, right?
Well, she can't see me, and I just want to.
But I can
Snatch it
feel
out.
its magic.
So 25 with sleight of hand.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to be very good, but we'll see.
Can you even beat a 25?
No. But I can crit it.
No.
But I can crit it, and I didn't.
So you're just looking at the chalice, you're very happy to have it back, you can feel its power, and you all can feel the winds just pick up slightly as it just starts flying out of your hands.
And I want to immediately toss it into the water.
Yeah. So you just feel it loose from your hands, and then you just see
Yeah,
it
it gets
fly out.
invisible for a second, and then it appears in the air again,
Oh, well.
falling into the water.
Oh my god.
Fucking Kalen.
And I think that's the perfect time for us to end tonight's session. I
Well.
liked Aldova wrote getting real Gollum vibes from this island people, and our island, our own, our precious.
Yeah. Really? Yeah.
And then Hyolu wrote, didn't they arrive in a boat, like a lifeboat, or did they get dropped off? And then, nah, I get it now, they're idiots.
Yes, you are.
And then I get it now, I might be an idiot as well.
I think the group is the idiots. Or the idiots.
Oh, I left when you just ran over to the island. That was beautiful.
Quite short-sighted.
Could have been a boat.
But it didn't seem necessary when we were only traveling 20 feet
No, it wasn't at that point,
at that point.
except for the fact that you were going to a small island. Yeah.
Details.
So just be
Don't-
happy that
it's
I
just
have
details.
watermark now. So we can actually get out.
Yeah, luckily that we're so close
It would
to.
have been interesting to see what you did if you didn't have that
I mean,
spell.
then we would have had to walk like for 8 hours. We just stopped for 10 minutes, cast a new, whenever you could.
Well, we do have to figure this stuff out next time.
I got
Yeah.
wood carving tools. Can make a really small boat.
Make really small. We're just gonna stay here for a week.
Okay. See you all in a week. That's
Bye.
Oh, we're still
Bye.
alive.